Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Minor Mountain for tonight's Region 4 Section 2 championship game between the number 1 ranked and 21-2 Chapmanville Tigers and the number 3 ranked 20-3 Logan Wildcats. Hello again, friends. James Barker, Chris Kidd with you. And Chris, it's round 3 of what has been a exciting rivalry this year in the Southern Coalfields.
Yeah, this season started to play out exactly the way we thought it would all the way back in December whenever these two started on the hardwood. We knew that they were going to be hard-fought games. We knew they were going to be tightly contested, and we also believed that this would be where we ended up at the beginning of March. And here we are, number 1, number 3, both games this year very tight, very hotly contested. And now they tried it at Chapmanville, they tried it at Logan. Now we're here at Mingo for round 3, and this place has been packed since about 5:30, James.
Chris, Chapmanville winning by 6 in the first meeting, and then by 2 in the first meeting, and by 4 in the first meeting,
there we go.
and then by 8 in the second meeting. And Chris, when you look at these two clubs, they aren't very similar in a lot of aspects. Logan led by 2 stars, David Early and Drew Hatfield. And Chapmanville, they're led by Obina Anachili Killen and Devin Collins, but then Chapmanville has their scoring spread out all over the place. Logan primarily with Hatfield and Early.
Yeah, the two games you're referencing again, 51-47 at Chapmanville in the first meeting, 59-53 for Chapmanville in the second meeting. And that's where Chapmanville was able to pull away, was just being able to have a few more options, a few more supporting cast members step up in both those contests. And I think the big key tonight, James, is going to be the outside shooting on both ends. Again, Logan did not shoot well from the outside in either game. In the first game, they hit 4 threes, but were 5 of 10 from the free throw line. The second game, on their own floor, only hit 2 threes and were 11 of 18. On the contrary, Chapmanville hit 6 threes in the first game, 6 of 10 from the line, and in the second game hit 7 threes, 5 of those in the first quarter, where they jumped out to that big lead, and they were 16 of 25 at the free throw line. So Chapmanville won the battle in outside shooting. They won the battle at the free throw line. Logan's got to find a way, like they did the other night against Scott, to get to the charity stripe. They shot very well here the other night against the Skyhawks in that 71-61 win. Logan hit 8 threes and were 23 of 30 from the line. And this was the advantage Zach Green wanted, was playing 2 games on this floor. He got his game on Tuesday night here. His team may be a little bit more familiar with it. Now can they replicate that type of performance here tonight? Because 71 definitely wins this game this evening.
Going back to that second game that they played at Logan, Chapmanville again raced out to that big first quarter lead, had a double-digit lead at halftime, Chris, and then Logan able to chip away there in the third quarter. What can Zach Green take away from that opening of the second half in that second game?
I think his team noticed an identity in themselves in that game, especially in that third quarter, because last year whenever these two teams met and Chapmanville got out to a sizable lead, 8, 10, 12 points, Logan kind of went away in those games. Like last year, if you remember here in the sectional final, Chapmanville jumped out very quickly, hit 4 threes within the span of about a minute and a half, and the game was over, it felt like, and Logan just kind of wilted. But I think he figured out in that second half that his team could fight back. They could find options. Drew Hatfield got going a little bit more in that second half. They started to create some turnovers on Chapmanville with their full court pressure, and Chapmanville got rattled, and it took all of that championship strength from the Tigers to be able to pull that game out in the end with all the momentum on their side. But Logan did come out of that game, I think, a little bit more confident than maybe after the first game, because a lot of the people said after the first game Logan had their chance and they missed it. Second game, I think they proved that, hey, it wasn't just a chance. This is how these outcomes are going to be. It's going to be tight, it's going to be physical, and we can take them down to the wire. It's just about executing in those final minutes this time.
Nationwide insurance agent Greg Dalton is a proud supporter of Logan Wildcat and Chapmanville Tiger Athletics and the community of Logan County. For auto, home, life, and business insurance, call the Greg Dalton Agency at 304-752-8300. This is WVOW AM/FM radio in Logan, 101.9 FM, 1290 AM in Logan, West Virginia. Chris and I are going to step aside for a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll have the Logan Regional Medical Center keys to the game and the starting lineups for you here from Minor Mountain. You're listening to Logan and Chapmanville basketball action right here on WVOW and Video Productions.
Chronic wounds can really slow you down. At Logan Regional Medical Center, we want to help you get back to doing the things you love without having to travel far from home. That's why the team from our Advanced Care Wound Center combines expertise and advanced technology, like the region's only hyperbaric oxygen therapy program, helping you to heal quickly. Logan Regional Medical Center.
Healing starts here.
Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services, founded in 1975 by Riley Joe Evans, is a full-service funeral provider, offering services that respect all faiths, personal preferences, and financial considerations. They are the only funeral home in Boone, Lincoln, Logan, and Mingo counties with its own crematory. For more information, contact Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 304-855-3232 or visit www.evans-funeral-home.com or like Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services on Facebook to see their updated obituary information.
Get ready to drive your ambition in a brand new Mitsubishi with President's Day savings all month long. Now at Thornhill. Save with the dealer that's here for you. New Mitsubishi models starting at $12,946. Friends and family offers and top-of-the-line service. Go Thornhill.
Logan Physical Therapy wants to help you. Have you been injured at work or in an accident? Come to Logan Physical Therapy and Doug Hibbs will provide a thorough, careful evaluation and create a comprehensive treatment program that will get you back on your feet. Logan Physical Therapy, turning setbacks into comebacks.
This February, we're celebrating President's Month at Thornhill Mitsubishi, featuring last call pricing on remaining 2018 Mitsubishi models, with over $6,600 off 2018 Outlander PHEV and new 2018 Outlander Sport for $16,395.
Straight sectional championship.
I think a lot of it's going to be that duality in the distribution of points in these games, James. Again, you look at the two meetings. This is just the starting five. You had Obina with 19 points in the first, 9 in the second. Phillip with 8 in the first, 9 in the second. Devin Collins, 8 in the first, 15 in the second. Kish didn't score in the first, but had 7 in the second meeting. And Andrew Scholl, 12 in the first, 15 in the second. I mean, that is just incredible diversity across that starting lineup for Chapmanville. And if they can get all five and then Brandon Elkins off the bench to get in the scorebook, provide a lot of relief, they don't just rely on one person, it's going to force Logan to guard all over the floor, unlike where Chapmanville feels like maybe they can lax off here and there. Because if you look at Logan's end of this, James, they scored 100 points combined in both games, 47 in the first, 53 in the second. David Early had 48 of the 100 points in those two games. And outside of David Early, Drew Hatfield, and Peter No, Logan's supporting cast only scored 12 points combined in both games. And that has been a huge problem for the Wildcats. Now, the other night against Scott, we mentioned at halftime, they had to step up. They had to get going. Devin Hatfield stepped up with a big second half. He ended up with a big game for the Logan Wildcats, had 9 points. And then you had another player off the bench, Mitchell Hayner, who actually got the start the other night, had 7 points in that game. Logan's got to have that tonight. Again, it doesn't have to be 15, 20 points from Devin or Mitchell or any of these guys, or Noah Cook or Tanner Lambert, but 5, 6, 7 points. I mean, that would go such a long way tonight, because this isn't going to be a 70, 80-point game. This is going to be a defensive struggle here tonight. I think whoever gets to about 55, possibly in that range, is going to win this game, because these two defenses are very tough. Logan has held teams to 49.4 points per game. Chapmanville, on the other end, has held teams to 50.8 points per game. And I love this stat, James. They both have held teams to 50 or less points 11 times this year, both sides. So it's going to be a defensive struggle more than likely here this evening. But whose supporting cast steps up, I think, is going to make the biggest difference.
Those are your Logan Regional Medical Center keys to the game. Remember, the key to your health care is with Logan Regional Medical Center, where they offer a wide range of surgical services. No need to travel far when you can get the medical attention you need close to home. Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you. Well, the good news for both clubs tonight, Chris, is that this is not winner moves on and loser goes home. Both teams will move on to a Region 4 co-final, and the winner obviously will host that final, and then the loser will go on the road. So this is not the last game for either of these clubs, but could you hearken back to the days of old when this would have been the winner goes on, loser goes home type thing or type system? This place would be raucous.
Oh, the intensity right now is very high. You know, I've talked to several people on both sides tonight talking about how nervous they are. I'm like you. I don't know if we'd be able to take it if this was a knockout game here this evening. And, you know, a lot of people have been confused about that this week that I've talked to. They feel like they thought this was a knockout game, and I've had to re-explain the rules of how they've adjusted things, which I'm very glad that they have, because both these teams, I feel like, will be favored in their regional final next week, depending on who it is or wherever, because neither one of these teams has lost to a team in the other side of the section, or the other side of the region, excuse me. But I feel like this is a little bit more of a, not easy going, but a little bit more relief in this game on both sides, knowing there will be a tomorrow, because if this was the end of the road right here for one of the two, my goodness, I mean, you and I mean, we get nervous for going on for these games. I don't know if I'd be ready to handle that type of a situation with this atmosphere.
Yeah, this is a good thing for a region that is as deep as Region 4 has been this year, not only on the boys' side but the girls' side as well. As we've seen, Chapmanville, a really good girls basketball team, fall in defeat to Sissonville on Wednesday night. But Chris, you have to like this new format for games like this here tonight between Logan and Chapmanville. And I know that Polka is one of the teams that will move on the other side of the region, and I believe Nitro is the other team that would be playing in the sectional championship when they decide to go on in Region 4 Section 1. So Logan and Chapmanville both have had success over both those teams this year, so again, you would feel like they would be favored in those matchups. Another interesting fact about this game and what could be really important is how they reseed everything after this sectional championship. They reseed the top teams in the region. If Chapmanville were to lose, a lot of people think that they would fall to 2 behind Fairmont Senior, and then Logan would stay at that 3 position. And if they would win in their regional finals, they could meet on Friday in Charleston.
Yeah, and a lot of people have been talking about that, and that would be fascinating. Again, the algorithm that they've used had Fairmont number 1 in like the power rankings, but I don't think the state tournament seeding would penalize Chapmanville in that setting, because they beat Fairmont Senior. They are the defending state champions. They hadn't lost to a West Virginia team. I still think Chapmanville would get that bump at number 1, but there's a lot of people even in the area that would like to see that Logan-Chapmanville matchup at States. Again, I know we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit here, but again, I feel very strongly that these two will move on regardless of what happens here tonight.
I don't think people in the area would like to see that. I think the Charleston Civic Center would like to see Logan and Chapmanville match up on semifinal Friday, or even better, championship Saturday.
Oh, they just salivated hearing us talking about that. I mean, they can see those ticket sales flying off the shelves over there. I mean, because we saw it today at school, you know. I mean, tickets sold out very quickly. You know, people messaging me and you saying, you know, can we get tickets whenever we get there? I said, I don't know at this point. So this is a community and a county that absolutely loves this sport. They love this rivalry, and I'm looking forward to a very good game here tonight. Hopefully, good, clean ball game. Both teams give everything they've got here tonight. I mean, because we know that these are 2 of the 3 most talented teams in Class AA and possibly even the state. And it'd be great to see them give what they've got here tonight and give everyone here a show and something to remember.
Well, Chris, we're close to tip-off here from Minor Mountain between the number 1 and number 3 ranked teams in West Virginia. This place seats a little bit over 2,000 people. And right now they've had to clear people out from behind the basket on top of this second tier, this walkway up here, people hanging over the rails behind the basket. So, Chris, this place pretty close to capacity at this point.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, this is a wonderful venue for this type of for this type of a game, and I'm glad that a lot of people are able to get in. Right now, I don't see a seat on the top level or the lower level that hasn't been taken by either side, and this is going to be one of those special moments that these guys will remember for the rest of their lives. I mean, this is honestly going to be probably even a better environment than what you'll get at the state tournament oftentimes, because everyone's right on the floor, everyone's on top of you. I mean, this is just going to be something really, really interesting and really special here tonight. Really glad that we get to bring it to everyone on WVOW Radio and on Video Productions.
Yeah, Logan now coming out of the locker room, getting ready for the starting lineups. The Logan fans in their royal blue and shaking their yellow, gold pom-poms in the stands. Excited as the Chapmanville fans start to climb to their feet, chanting Tigers, as this thing is about to go down for the third time. And this one means, and it's all for the Region 4 Section 2 championship. Chris and I are going to step aside for a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and the tip between Logan and Chapmanville. You're listening to Logan and Chapmanville basketball action right here on WVOW and Video Productions.
Seriously injured. Now it's time to pick a lawyer.
You pick one with big verdicts and settlements?
We've successfully handled many million-dollar cases.
How about the recommendation of a friend?
We probably help somebody in your neighborhood.
How about a firm with lots of resources?
You can have it all.
We're Farmer Klein and Campbell.
Well-known and very effective.
When you call us about your injury, you'll know you've made the right decision.
Farmer Klein and Campbell is the way to go. Call 346-5990.
I've been a lot of things over the years. Your blind spot, your loose satellite dish, a literal deer in the headlights. But it's a new year and I'm making a resolution. No more mayhem. This year, I'm everything that helps keep you safe. Like the fuzzy yellow tennis ball, dangling from a string, helping make sure you pull the car in far enough. But not too far.
Chronic wounds can really slow you down. At Logan Regional Medical Center, we want to help you get back to doing the things you love without having to travel far from home. That's why the team from our Advanced Care Wound Center combines expertise and advanced technology, like the region's only hyperbaric oxygen therapy program, helping you to heal quickly. Logan Regional Medical Center.
Healing starts here.
Williamson Health and Wellness Center takes pride in working with knowledgeable and caring physicians who make a positive impact on our community. Excellent dental care for all ages is provided here by Dr. Sahasi. Podiatry is covered by Dr. Nielsen. He helps many in need of critical foot care. Although Williamson Health and Wellness Center offers many more services, the goal is single in mind. Help this great community have a healthier and higher standard of life. Williamson Health and Wellness Center.
Welcome back here to Minor Mountain. James Barker, Chris Kidd with you. Robbie Mounts, our producer on Video Productions, and David Anderson back in the WVOW studios taking care of Chris and I. Starting lineups being introduced here tonight. As if you look, Chris, Logan in their nice throwback blue uniforms, a real classy look for the Wildcats tonight. Those trimmed in gold with the white lettering Logan across the chest and the numbers on the back.
Oh, I love it, James. Again, it looks like the 1990-91 type uniforms that Logan's got on. Again, they wore the gold ones earlier this year that looked really nice. Really love that look for the Logan Wildcats here tonight. And David Early back to the regular 23 tonight after 44 the other night. And an interesting development, too, here for Chapmanville. Brandon Elkins getting the start tonight instead of Jordan Kish. So obviously something that Brad Napper saw in the last two meetings that he wants to implement here tonight, where he felt like maybe Elkins had an advantage in those matchups over Kish.
Yeah, that is interesting. The Kish has been in the starting lineup a majority of the season. Sans a few times that Brad has decided to play some other seniors, though, Chris. But Kish is a kid that can also play the center position. Could, if Anobina Chili Killen would get into foul trouble, so that may be what Brad is trying to do.
And that's a good call as well, James, again, because we've seen Philip Mullins has been the one that's gotten into foul trouble in each of the first two meetings. He picked up two fouls very quickly in the first quarter both times, and he's been the one that's been called on to guard David Early. So will Logan go after Mullins like they did in the first two games? And I think that's what got Chapmanville a little bit out of their game plan. So it'll be interesting to see if Philip's the one that draws the assignment again here to start things out, or if Brad wants to go away from that and maybe go with someone else in the early going.
So for Chapmanville, it's Mullins, Scholl, Elkins, Collins, and Killen. And for Logan, it's Early, Hatfield, No, Felder, and Mitchell Hayner, who gets his second straight start as he started against the Scott Skyhawks. We are ready for round three of this titanic struggle between both schools. And is it going to be called Logan County at the end of the night, or will it be called Chapmanville County at the end of the night? No, and Killen set the tip. Ball controlled by the Logan Wildcats. They will travel from left to right across your radio and internet feed. Hatfield, top of the key, man-to-man defense for the Tigers. Early with it, swings it over to Felder on the right wing. Felder giving a lot of space. Hatfield catches, turns, shoots, top of the key, shot no good. Rebound. Obina and Achille Killen underneath. So the Wildcats 0 for 1 on their first trip and first possession of the night. Killen, 3 from the top of the key, rims out, no good. Rebound early, and he'll push it up the floor. Early slows down now and gives it across to Hatfield. So both teams attempt threes in their first possessions, Chris.
And they have drawn Elkins on David Early here early on, so we'll see how Elkins matches up with him.
Early now with it, left wing. Step back 3 for David, gets it to go. Big shot for Early to start this game, and the Logan crowd erupts.
And he had 26 against Scott the other night, and in both meetings against Chapmanville this year, 24 points in each contest, led the Cardinal Conference in scoring for the second straight year with 26.1 points per game this year.
Mullins gets it over to Elkins, top of the key, hands it off to Scholl. Scholl now will drive toward the basket, kicks it over to Collins, guarded by Hayner on the right wing. Collins gets it over to Obina in the right corner. He dribbles. Skip pass over now to Elkins, and now outside to Scholl where Chapmanville will reset.
And this is the first lead Logan's had since the first quarter of game 1.
Scholl fade away in the paint, no good, off the front of the rim. Early rebound. Early up with it. He'll pull if they give him a chance. Little crossover behind the back, spin in the lane, shot up off the rim, no good, no call underneath. And here come the Tigers. Elkins up ahead with him. Elkins pull up 3. Big shot for Brandon Elkins.
And Elkins, again, he can go off in these games. He had 9 against Lincoln County in their sectional semifinal. Big start for him getting the start this evening.
3-3 your score. 6:02 to go here in the first quarter of play. Hatfield with it. Gets it across to Hayner near the top of the key. Now dribbles to the left side. Almost walked with it. Now Early has it top of the key. Early will get a screen from No. Early, good defense by the Tigers here, and Hatfield will have to reset for the Wildcats.
And David Early looking like he's going to be more active in the early going than he has in the first 2 games, James.
Hatfield drives in. Obina tried to block it, gives it off to No. Now he blocks that one. Goes out to Hatfield. They're going to call a foul there on Elkins, though, on the loose ball foul. But both crowds erupting after the block from Obina, Chris, and then Logan erupting on the foul.
Yeah, and it was a great pass by Hatfield when he saw Obina collapsing in on him, did a wraparound to Peter No. No just got there to the point of attack a little late and allowed Obina to recover and get the first block of the game.
Still 3-3, 5:30 to go here in the first quarter of play. As Hatfield looking to get it to somebody, now gives it over to No on the left side. And did Hatfield knock it off his leg? No, they called it on Obina. As we look at the replay here of Obina's rejection.
And again, just a great job recovering once again. And unfortunate for Elkins, he was going after the loose ball, but bumped Hatfield to the ground, so good call by the officials.
Hatfield has it near the timeline, which is a little deceiving here because there's not a center mark in the middle of that Mingo Central logo. As Early now has it, double team, skips it across to Hayner, left side. Now in the corner to Drew. Hatfield dribbles back out, and we mentioned this would be a defensive game, and it's been that way so far. Hatfield now pull up 3 at the top of the key, no good. Rebound backside by Elkins, and the Tigers will push it up the floor. Scholl over to Collins. Collins head fakes, almost a steal, tried to get it inside, and they say he traveled. And that'll be our first turnover of the game.
And on the other end, again, Hatfield has attempted 2 threes. Both look good so far, but hasn't been able to connect. But he had a massive game against Scott the other night, had 25 points, and was raining threes in the first half of that game. So Drew Hatfield, we're going to see, can he replicate that performance he had against Scott, because against Chapmanville both games this year didn't have a high volume of points, only 6 in the first game, only 11 in the second game. They really need him tonight to get 15 or more.
Full court pressure for the Tigers here. Logan able to break it early, driving in, step back 3 for David, up and good. Early continues to kind of get that little step back right now on Elkins, and now a turnover. Hatfield with it. Gives it to Early in the paint. He goes up left hand, misses the layup though. Rebound stripped and now finally controlled by the Tigers.
And Chucky Felder everywhere right now on the defensive end. Great effort by him.
Good pass inside Elkins, layup. Gets the bucket and the foul.
What a drive in that time by Elkins. Kept fighting his way to the rim on the right side, and a great bounce pass set that up, James. and a great finish. And Brandon Elkins hasn't got the start often this season, but here you see it on the replay. Great find by Mullins and a great take by Elkins, and Brandon Elkins making the most of this opportunity tonight, the man that signed with West Virginia Wesleyan earlier this week.
Elkins, can he get the friendly roll? And does. So it's early 6, Elkins 6. The other players just kind of watching those two go at it right now. Logan with the basketball. Hatfield crosses the timeline, gets it across to Early now. 6-6 your score. 4-minute mark here in the first quarter of play. Hatfield with it, dribbles over to the left side of the floor. Guarded by Scholl. Now we'll get a screen. Hatfield dribbles right side, looking inside, trying to get Early posted up. They're trying to get Elkins in that second foul. Long three here for Hatfield. Front rim no good. Rebound all the way out to Elkins.
And now Hatfield 0 of 3 thus far tonight after that big game on Tuesday.
Elkins to Mullins. Wide open look for Phillip. Gets it to go. Phillip Mullins gives Chapmanville their first lead of the game at 9-6 at the 3:30 mark here in the first. Felder with it. He'll drive in right side. Pulls it back outside. Almost a steal, but Hatfield able to control it. He'll drive inside now. Looks back to Early. Early. Inside now to No. Backs in on Collins. Jump hook with the left hand. No good. Rebound. Obina. And he'll push it up the floor to Scholl. Back to Mullins, who will try to settle down. Gets a high screen. Now will curl. Skips it over across to Scholl. Now over to Elkins. He drives right baseline. Gives it off to Obina. Obina tried to slam it home, but he's fouled. And that'll be a foul on Peter No. That'll be his first. It'll send Obina to the line to shoot 2 as you look at your All-State replay here on the Mullins 3.
And again, Mullins just trailing the play a little that time, was able to get a good spot on the floor, open look for him, and buries it. And Phillip doesn't look for his offense a lot like Kyle Browning in past seasons for Chapmanville, but he ends up getting the big point production when he's asked to. And right there, a big 3 as Obina misses on the first. But again, Peter No tried to prevent the dunk and got a piece of the arm, so that's 1 on Logan's big man.
Yeah, so you may start to see with No picking up his first, who is one of those players that Chapmanville tries to get into foul trouble. You may start to see Chapmanville push the ball down into the post in their offensive possessions from now on. Obina goes 1 of 2 from the line. Logan breaking the pressure Early with it. Loses the ball. Steal by Collins. Chapmanville with a 4-point lead and the basketball under 3 minutes to go here in the first. Kish back in with his first action tonight, and he'll swing it. Normally you see Kish try to shoot that corner 3 as he's so dangerous with. Scholl now will drive. Kicks it outside. Obina 3. Top of the key. Gets it to go.
And if that's going to fall tonight, Logan's in serious trouble, and Zach Green has to stop the momentum. Chapmanville on a 10-0 run now, James.
It's a full timeout. We'll do the same. Chapmanville a 13-6 lead over Logan. We'll be back after this. You're listening to Logan and Chapmanville basketball action right here on WVOW and Video Productions.
Williamson Health and Wellness Center has a mission to create an innovative culture of health that accelerates positive growth throughout rural communities. What does that mean for you? It means better health care through family medicine from qualified physicians who genuinely care. It means access to community outreach programs that help us live healthier lives. It means security in knowing you get incredible care right here. Everyone deserves access to quality, affordable health care. Williamson Health and Wellness Center.
You've been seriously injured. Now it's time to pick a lawyer.
You pick one with big verdicts and settlements?
We've successfully handled many million-dollar cases.
How about the recommendation of a friend?
We probably help somebody in your neighborhood.
How about a firm with lots of resources?
You can have it all.
We're Farmer Klein and Campbell.
Well known and very effective.
When you call us about your injury, you'll know you've made the right decision.
Farmer Klein and Campbell is the way to go. Call 34659.
Back here on Minor Mountain, a 10-0 run for the Tigers. Give them a 7-point lead, 13-6 over the Logan Wildcats with 2:30 to go here in the first quarter. James Barker, Chris Kidd with you as we thank you for listening and watching to this production on Video Productions and WVOW Radio. Hatfield with it, guarded by Kish. Hatfield looking, trying to find somebody in the post. Now finally gives it Early, who's trapped. He gives it back to Hatfield quickly. Dribbles top of the key, swings it across to his brother Devin Hatfield, who's into the game for the first time tonight. As Drew now dribbling around, pressured by this Chapmanville defense, gets it to Devin. Head fakes, dribbles in the lane, step back jumper blocked partially. Ball tipped and will go to the Tigers.
And again, Chapmanville now double teaming Early every time he gets a touch. And I don't think David Early's going to be able to go coast to coast like he did the other night against Scott. Chapmanville's too quick. Their hands are too fast. They can strip that ball out of Early's hands. He's going to have to work off of screens. He's going to have to get the ball in the front court to be able to do some of his damage. I just don't see him being able to do it coast to coast and have that motor all evening long.
A little bit of a matchup zone here. 3 on the way for Scholl. Gets it to go. Scholl gets his first field goal of the game, and it's a 10-point lead for the Tigers.
Almost reminiscent of the first quarter in the second game. That's the 4th three-pointer now for Chapmanville this quarter.
Early brings it up the floor, guarded by Mullins. A little crossover. Good defense, but Early a little bit better. Shot up, off the glass, no good, and that'll send Early to the line to shoot 2.
And they get that on Philip Mullins again. He's switched on to him now that Elkins went to the bench, and they do get one on Philip Mullins here late in the first. But right there again, you see the work David Early has to put in just to be able to get that shot off. Again, it's tremendous effort by Early, but can he sustain this type of dribbling and effort for 32 minutes? It's going to be very tough against this stingy Chapmanville defense.
Early at the line shooting 2. You look at your All-State good hands replay here, Chris. It's Early. Just great individual effort, as you mentioned. Just couldn't get the shot to go, but he does make the first at the foul line.
And again, we saw him conserve some of his energy in the first 2 games. He's come out here ready to fire away here tonight, but now he has all 8 Logan points, and yet nobody, we talked about the supporting cast, nobody has scored yet other than David Early for Logan.
You mentioned that in the pregame show, Chris, and that big telling stat, Logan scoring 100 points in both contests together, and Early having almost half of those. Early kicks the ball, and Chapmanville will keep possession as we see Elkins check back in, and probably see him come in for Mullins, and does, as Mullins has 1 foul. And smart move there from Brad Napper to get his best ball handler off the floor right now with 1:09 to go in the first.
I do. I like that move by Brad Napper. A minute line left. Let Mullins rest a little bit, and also keep him out of foul trouble so he can stay on the floor here in the first half.
A little zone, matchup zone here for Logan right now, reminiscent of that 3-2 flat zone we saw last year and a little bit the year prior. Pass inside, stolen away. It was tipped away by Felder. Early up ahead with it. Early, a little shake and bake move, lost it, and then he touched it last. No, they say it's off of Collins, and it will stay with the Wildcats.
But a good job there by Devin Collins. Again, one-on-one with David Early. Collins able to poke his hand in, get that ball loose, force Logan to set up an offense here.
40 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Logan trails by 8, 16-8. The score. Early with all 8 points for the Wildcats. He'll drive now, left baseline. Kind of got bobbled. Shot up off the glass, no good. Peter No rebound, wide open, slam dunk for Peter No.
And right there, great job by Early being able to collapse the defense. And Chapmanville sent 3-4 men at him that time. And off the miss, though, Peter No in the right spot to be able to get that basket. Let's see if that gets the big man going for Logan now.
So a quick 4-0 run for the Wildcats has cut this down to 6 now as Chapmanville holds for the final shot of the quarter. Scholl, 2 screens up top. Long 3 for Collins. Does he have the range? He does. Big shot from the senior Devin Collins, and we head to the second quarter, and the Tigers have a 9-point lead. It's 19-10 in favor of Chapmanville. We step aside for a break. We'll come back right after this. You're listening to Logan and Chapmanville basketball right here on WVOW and Video Productions.
Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services, founded in 1975 by Riley Joe Evans, is a full-service funeral provider, offering services that respect all faiths, personal preferences, and financial considerations. They are the only funeral home in Boone, Lincoln, Logan, and Mingo counties with its own crematory. For more information, contact Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 304-855-3232 or visit www.evans-funeral-home.com or like Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services on Facebook to see their updated obituary information.
Kinzel Law Office is a local firm located at 36 Adams Street in Chapmanville. Rob Kinzel has been practicing law in Logan County for over 15 years and is dedicated to providing quality legal representation for personal injury, criminal defense, and family law for individuals and families throughout southern West Virginia. Call Kinzel Law Office today to set up your free consultation. Rob Kinzel, quality legal services close to home.
Back here at Minor Mountain, James Barker, Chris Kidd with you as Chapmanville 5 threes in the first quarter, Chris, to really give them this 9-point lead, 19-10.
Yeah, again, the exact same number they hit in the second game of the first quarter. And the 3 that Devin Collins hit, just unfair there to end the first quarter. About beyond 30 feet and just buries it.
Scholl with it in the right corner. Chapmanville has possession of the basketball. Long three again for Collins. This one going to be off and rebound out of bounds. So Logan catches a break there. Collins a little bit off balance when he took that shot.
Now this is what Logan needs to hope for here at Chapmanville. Settles down a little bit, just like they did in the second game after that first quarter. Chapmanville settled down, wasn't able to keep up that type of tempo and that type of shooting all game long, and allowed Logan to chip away back into the game. But this can't be David Early against Chapmanville. Logan's got to get other people involved here, got to get other scoring to relieve David Early.
Early gives it off. Devin Hatfield, top of the key, three, gets it to go, and just as Chris ordered, or the doctor ordered, Devin Hatfield hits a big three for the Wildcats and cuts the lead back to 6.
And he hit 3 big ones on Tuesday night against Scott James, the freshman. Ice water in his veins in a big spot tonight.
Drive from Obina, blocked from behind by Peter No, and the Cats have a little momentum now as Early will slow it down and try to get a good look here for the Wildcats.
And I like that from David Early. Again, slow things down. Don't try and get up and down with Chapmanville here. Even though Logan plays that game well, I'd like to see Logan get this into more of a half-court set.
Almost a steal from Obina there, as it was a back cut there from Devin Hatfield, and Drew tried to find him. As we look at our All-State replay here on the three from Devin Hatfield.
And right there you see where David Early attracts the attention. He can find open shooters, but Logan's got to get these guys to knock them down. And Devin Hatfield responds right there. Big look, and that's going to cause Chapmanville to have to honor some of these shooters now.
Hatfield with it. Top of the key now to Early. It comes off a double team now as he'll throw it across to Drew Hatfield. Top of the key guarded by Scholl. Drew pulls it back out to try to set something up. Now we'll drive in the lane. Little jumper at the elbow. Gets it to go, and that's Drew Hatfield's first bucket of the game.
And he's going to be big if he can get going here. As we said, he was red hot the other night here on this floor. Missed his first 3 shots tonight, but a big basket there.
Long three from Kish. Splashes home, and the Tigers back up by 7.
And now all 6 of Chapmanville's regular 6 have hit threes in this game, James. So 6 threes, all from different players.
22-15, under 6 minutes to go here in the first half. Again, we thank you for listening and watching on Video Productions as well as on WVOW Radio. Early with it. Shake and bake, drive in the lane. No call there. Got some contact from Obina, but it was straight up, and the rebound goes to the Tigers. Collins, pull up three, no good. Rebound tipped around, fought for. Scholl gets it in the left corner. Now Collins has it. He'll drive in, try to give it off to Kish. Obina picks it up, foul line jumper. He's fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
And both these teams are going to have difficulty trying to pass in the interior tonight, James. And here on our Kenzel Law instant replay, you see Kish again. They lagged off of him, but Devin Hatfield gave him enough room. And Jordan Kish can hit that shot all day long. Logan's got to do a better job closing out on these three-point shooters. But on the interior, I feel like once you get it in the paint, it's up to you to go at that point, because the hands of both these squads and the defense they play, they're going to tip away passes all day long. And you saw that one about got knocked away from Kish. Just so happened it found Obina's hands. So going to be very difficult to find those little short passes on the inside without having it knocked away.
Looking down at Logan's bench right now, looks like Early may have kind of skinned his knee a little bit. They are tending to him, putting some gauze and tape around that. There may have been some blood. That's why Early had to come out of the game, as Obina misses the first foul shot for the Tigers. You look at your All-State Good Hands replay here as Obina fouled at the foul line and now at the line shooting 2.
He's 1 of 3 now from the line, and he hits the second. So Obina now with 5 points here early in the second quarter.
Chapmanville's lead back up to 8, 23-15. Full court pressure now for the Tigers. They pick up full court man-to-man with Early out of the game. Hatfield with it, guarded by Mullins. Now they're going to try to run and jump Hatfield. They chase him with a double team. Noah Cook checks into the game for the Wildcats for the first time as Hayner has it. Hayner struggling with it. He walked there, no call. That was a double pivot foot that they did not call there for the for the Wildcats. So the Wildcats keep the basketball. Zach Green upset. Can't get in a good offensive set right now. Devin Hatfield with it, looking for somebody to throw it to. Gets it inside to Peter No. No. Trying to look back outside, and they're going to call a charge as No lowered his shoulder into Obina, and that's No's second.
That's a big call there, James. And I know that Zach Green didn't want to burn a timeout there. He already had to use one in the first quarter, but that would have been a good time with David Early not on the floor. Logan just looked completely lost and had no opening. And you see here just Obina, great job staying in the center of Peter No, knew that he was going to back into him, got him to bowl him over, and that's a big call now because you've got 2 on Peter No, and they have pulled him from the game, so we'll see if this opens things up for Obina.
Obina with it, skips it in the corner. Scholl, 3 on the way. That one's no good. Good tip by Kish to get it inside to Obina off the rebound, and Obina now with 7 tonight. Chapmanville's lead back up to 10, 25-15. Cook with it in the front court, dribbles into the left corner, thought about the shot, now skips it outside to Early. Early, who has 8 points on the night, trying to get something going for the Wildcats, but Chris, you mentioned every time he touches it, it seems like a double team comes his way.
Again, they're going to force someone else to beat them. Can Devin Hatfield be one of the men to do it? Great fake, but couldn't get a shot there.
Now goes to Hayner as Early now with it. He gets double teamed. He'll drive now, beats it. Gets inside on Obina, and they call the foul on Obina. He didn't like the call, but that will send Early to the line to shoot 2. And our classic Logan fan, I went ahead and looked over there at Darren Akers, and he was begging for the call. Still is.
And you know what? David Early does such a good job because we're standing right on top underneath the basket right now, and you can see what the officials can't see sometimes. Early gets that arm extended, shoves off with it, and doesn't get it called on him very often. And right there, he created that contact and created that foul with that extended arm, but the official doesn't see that, and instead you see Early fall right after the fact. That's a great view on our replay because they couldn't see what we saw right above that. And right there, Early extends that hand. It looks like contact. The official's going to call it for Early every time.
Yeah, and that's, David Early makes his money from the outside and then getting to the foul line. That's where David Early separates himself from all other players in the state of West Virginia. Yeah, he can knock down those outside shots, Chris, but his ability to drive and get to the line where he is now 4 for 4 on the night makes him one of the state's, if not the state's, best scorer.
Yeah, and he's up to 10 now for the evening, so he's keeping Logan within striking distance right now. And now Obina on the bench with Peter No on the bench trying to get the big man a breather.
Mullins almost loses it. Good defense by Hatfield there. Kish guarded by Hayner. Kish drives in, gives it off to Scholl. Scholl, right wing, guarded by Devin Hatfield, spins in the lane, jumper over the freshman, couldn't get the roll, and Hayner gets the rebound. Hatfield out in front. It's one-on-one. Hatfield races in, gets bumped, shot up, good. No foul called there, but good take by Drew Hatfield.
I was about to say the same, James. Great take there by Hatfield. Challenge Scholl. Could have been a foul, but the officials let it go, and now Logan with 4 quick points back down to 6.
Yeah, it's been a 10-point lead for Chapmanville, and it's down to 6. We'll see if Chapmanville answers here. Scholl, 3 from the left corner. Good. Another answer for the Tigers, and they push it back up by 9.
That's 7 threes now in the game, James. Every time Logan gets a little bit of momentum, Chapmanville takes it away.
Early. Crowd from Chapmanville wanted a push off there. No call as Hatfield will drive in. Pull-up jumper in front of Philip Mullins. Good. Big shot from Drew Hatfield, who is starting to heat up.
And that's 6 this quarter for him, James. This is what Logan needs right now from their 2 superstars, is now Hatfield trying to catch up in this game. So if Hatfield can get, like I said, around 15 or more in this game, that gives Logan a great chance.
28-21. Lead by the Tigers is 7, and they call a block there on Drew Hatfield. As we look at our All-State Good Hands replay on Hatfield's pull-up jumper, and just a smooth shot when he has the ability to do so.
And he does such a great job of stopping on a dime too, James. I mean, that kid, he can look like he's going to take you to the hole, and all of a sudden he's stopped, he's fading back, and he's got that wide-open jumper. Just an excellent job there by Drew Hatfield.
So Obina checks back in. Peter Note still on the bench with those 2 fouls. It'll be Early guarding Obina here. We'll see what the Tigers decide to do. Tigers get it in. Skip pass in the corner. Scholl head fakes. Drives in. And they're going to call a push-off. That's the right call. And Scholl really extended that arm, almost like a stiff arm there, Chris, and he picks up his first.
Yeah, and that time it was just too obvious whenever he did it again. Hatfield's been doing it. Early's been doing it. But, again, you got to keep that a little bit lower. Scholl had it way too high that time. The official can see that, and you're going to get that called against you.
That comes from authority on the push-off. Chris Kidd, known for that back in his grade school days.
The only way I could get open.
Early almost loses. They're going to call a foul on Mullins. That'll be his second. And 2 away from the bonus right now, so no bonus but a big foul on Phillip Mullins as he picks up his second, who's one of Chapmanville's best ball handlers and best defenders.
Yeah, Phillip not happy as he goes to the bench there as he kicked a cup underneath the table up against the back of the bleachers, but again gets his second, so he'll sit the rest of the half now. So Early able to get two on Phillip just as he had in the first two meetings in the first half.
2:05 to go. Early drives in, draws a double team, shot up, blocked from behind, but he still somehow muscles it up. Couldn't get it to go though, and a rebound to the Tigers.
Yeah, that was unbelievable strength. Collins had a hold of that ball.
Collins posted up on Cook. He'll drive in. They call an offensive foul. They do. And again, right now, the officials are calling this the same way on both sides, Chris. Any type of extension of that arm underneath is an offensive foul.
Yeah, and again, that was a good call. It was very reminiscent of Peter Nose down here on the other end against Obina earlier. So again, the officials have been consistent with these calls, and so thus far I don't think there's any argument on either end.
28-21, 7-point lead. Hatfield loses it, now gives it off. They call a travel on Drew. Big turnover there for the Wildcats. It gives Chapmanville the ball back with 1:33 to go as the Tigers lead by 7, 28-21.
And right here, Chapmanville needs a good offensive set again. They've had a couple of bad trips in a row here, haven't really gotten a good shot off, haven't gotten any shots off in the last two. So right here, you're Brad Napper. You want your team to settle down, get a good look here.
Collins drives in, shot up off the glass and good. That little runner floater that Collins has, sometimes unstoppable with his height. And he gives Chapmanville a 9-point lead, 30-21.
And again, with his size and his touch, James, he's very difficult to guard whenever he gets that drive going.
Early drive, spins in the lane, left hand shot up, almost got it to go, but a foul called on Chapmanville, and they call it on Elkins. And we'll look at our Kinsel Law Office replay here real quick on the Collins floater. But we go back, and Chris, Brandon Elkins picks up his second, so the Tigers starting to climb into a little bit of foul trouble here.
Yeah, again, that's 2 on Mullins, 2 on Elkins here, and those are the two that are primary guarding Early, and Elkins not happy. He said that Early dragged his hand down on the way in, and let's see if we can see that here on the instant replay.
Look inside, and I didn't see the foul on Elkins there, Chris, but there may have been some contact from Obina, but Elkins actually looked like he was innocent on that one.
Yeah, again, but Early sells it so well. I mean, he's very, very good at selling that foul every time. And even with his size, the officials still are able to give him that leeway. So David Early has done a great job of perfecting that over his last 3 years at Logan, and even back during middle school he was able to do that.
Under a minute to go, 8-point lead for the Tigers, 30-22. Obina with it, top of the key. He'll try to drive on Early, and did he travel or foul? They call foul first, and they're going to call two-shot foul, as they say Obina was in the process of shooting there, and Early will pick up his first personal.
Yeah, and I think Obina went to the school of David Early there a little bit as he got up with that ball, and all of a sudden didn't really look like he was in the motion of shooting, but was able to draw the foul call as he hits the first free throw, as he extended those arms out and flailed. I mean, it's like watching Reggie Miller out here half the time with some of these players, but faking the foul and feigning the contact is a skill.
Obina goes 2 for 2 at the line. He's 4 of 6 now on the night, and Chapmanville's lead back up to 10, 32-22, with 40 seconds to go here in the first half of play. Cook with it, top of the key, looking, guarded by Collins. Now we'll pass it over in the corner to Early. Early, guarded by Hunter Cook. Step back three for David is good. And that shot has been money for David Early all night long.
And right there, they've got a good mismatch with Hunter Cook on him. Again, Cook just a little smaller, not able to match up with him size-wise, and Early could have taken him to the basket or hit that step-back three, and he able to hit his third three of the half there.
10 seconds to go. Chapmanville holding for one shot. Scholl with it. 7 seconds to Obina. Obina looks, gives it off to Collins on a curl. 2 seconds to go. Collins knows the time, shot up, he's fouled, and will go to the line with no time left on the clock.
And it did look like that was on the wrist, James, as Collins went up. You could hear some of the contact as he went up on the shot. So Collins will end up shooting 2 free throws, it appears, maybe with nobody on the floor here, as they're going to say it happened with triple zeros. But that appeared like Collins did get hit on the wrist on his way up.
And so Collins will be at the line as officials still talking to a couple players on the Logan bench. As we look at our All-State Good Hands replay, Chris, I'll let you take control of that one.
Yeah, you could see coming over there late. It may have been Early that ended up fouling him. They may put a little bit more time on the clock. I thought it was Noah Cook just from the start of the replay, but it appeared Early came over, tried to get the block at the last second, ended up catching Collins on the wrist. So now they're going to put 2 seconds back on the clock, or maybe 0.2 of a second on the clock, but Chapmanville's not going to have anyone underneath the rebound.
So really no chance for Logan even to catch and shoot on the miss if there is one, as Collins makes the first. And it's an 8-point lead now for the Tigers. If Collins makes this one, it goes to 9 here at the half, and it will be a 9-point lead for Chapmanville at the half. No shot can be made, even though it came really close from Drew Hatfield with under 0.3 seconds. So halftime score, it's Chapmanville 34, Logan 25. Chris and I will step aside for a 2-minute break. When we come back, the Gaddy's Pizza halftime show. You're listening to Logan and Chapmanville basketball action right here on WVOW and Video Productions.
Kinzel Law Office is a local firm located at 36 Adams Street in Chapmanville. Rob Kinzel has been practicing law in Logan County for over 15 years and is dedicated to providing quality legal representation for personal injury, criminal defense, and family law for individuals and families throughout southern West Virginia. Call Kinzel Law Office today to set up your free consultation. Rob Kinzel, quality legal services close to home.
Live your life like a dreamer. Fly all over the world. Open your shut so the world can see. You're a beautiful pearl. Live your day like you mean it. And don't forget who you are. You're free to go anywhere. There's no distance too far.
Hey, Peyton.
Hey, Brad. It's Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I know, Peyton. I can see you.
Is that a tour bus? You know it. We're going on the road, man. We're going to get some inspiration. Your next nationwide song is not going to write itself.
Are you outside?
Of course I am. Already got some ideas, too. We got to get the band back together.
We weren't a band, Peyton.
I'm pretty sure we were. Okay, great talk. Band is back together.
When you're looking for a small local doctor with a big heart, you've come to the right place at Logan Pediatrics. Your child's care is in good hands with our friendly staff of professionals. Our state-of-the-art clinic offers the best in technology and pediatric health care, from immunizations to annual checkups. Most insurance accepted, licensed and insured. Call 304-239-0301 or visit loganpediatrics.com. Located at 300 Prosperity Lane, Suite 100 in Logan. We're also proud to welcome our new location in Danville.
Halftime here at Mingo Central High School. James Barker, Chris Kidd with you. Thank you for joining us on the Gaddy's Pizza halftime show. Our halftime show brought to you by Gaddy's Pizza, Fountain Place Mall. After the game, after church, for lunch, or for dinner, bring your family and friends to Gaddy's Pizza for great food and big fun. Chris, 34-25, Chapmanville leads by 9, and you mentioned it during the break. You look at the balanced scoring of the Tigers, and then on the Logan side, it's the Early and Hatfield show.
And I'll let you go through like who it was that scored what in the first half. But, I mean, you look at the 6 for Chapmanville. We mentioned that Chapmanville's first 6 can go off at any point. All 6 of them have led Chapmanville in scoring at different points this season. And it's 9, 7, 6, 6, 3, 3. Balance everywhere. You go to the other side, Logan, you got Early 14, Hatfield 6. And then after that, only 5 points combined. I mean, and beyond Peter No, only 3 points for the rest of the supporting cast. Again, Logan, they can get open shooters here. Again, the attention is going to go to David Early more often than not whenever he drives in. That's where he's got to be a little bit more cognizant of some of the open shooters. I know he wants to take this game over, and he can take this game over just because of his raw ability. But this is where I think early in the third quarter they're going to have to trust some of their supporting cast and see if they can knock down some shots, because that's what hurt Scott the other night. Once Hayner hit some shots, once Devin Hatfield hit some shots. It took some of the attention away from early, and he was able to go off in the fourth quarter because he got a little less double-team attention because they had to honor the rest of the shooters. Right now, Chapmanville's not doing that because the rest of the supporting cast for Logan isn't even really getting any looks in this game. And credit the rest of the Chapmanville defense for shutting down those guys. It's not like they're just leaving them wide open doing jumping jacks in the corner. But, again, Logan's got to be able, whenever Early gets those 2 and 3 men that collapse on him, got to find the shooter. They've got to knock a few down like they did the other night.
It's to the point right now where Logan has to make that extra pass, where Early's getting double-teamed. Chapmanville's rotation is really good right now on the first pass, but if you make that extra pass like we've seen so many times, like good teams in the NBA Finals such as the Spurs, even when the Heat had Wade and Bosh and LeBron, they make those extra passes to those wide-open guys. Logan has got to find a way to do that, and it's going to be up to Hayner and Hatfield and even Noah Cook and Tanner Lambert to come off the bench and make those shots. If you're Zach Green in halftime, you know that some of the primary ball handlers for the Tigers in a little bit of foul trouble right now. Phillip Mullins with 2 fouls. Brandon Elkins with 2 fouls as well, Chris. What type of strategy do you think Zach has on attacking Phillip and attacking Brandon and trying to keep them in foul trouble here in the second half?
I think it'll be kind of predicated on who's guarding David Early primarily. Again, Chapmanville's been throwing a lot at Early, and they switched defenders on him. You know, you saw Elkins, Kish, and Mullins at different points this half that took him on, even Collins on 1 or 2 possessions. But I think it's going to matter who they end up putting on to him at first. But, again, I don't really think the foul trouble for Chapmanville is as big as it would be for Logan in that game, because Chapmanville can go to another 1 or 2 players if they need to in this contest that are pretty similar to each other. But you saw when Peter No went out of the game, there was a significant difference on the interior for the Wildcats. Again, they didn't have a big rebound presence down low. Chapmanville was able to attack the paint. You saw them get an offensive rebound and put back for Obina whenever Peter No went out of the game. So, you know, it's one of those things, you know, Chapmanville can kind of replace theirs that go down. Logan has a difficulty replacing theirs that go down in this contest. Again, Logan, though, still very much within striking distance right here. Even though Chapmanville shot the ball exceptionally well in the first half, to only be down 9, I think, is a bit of a positive for Logan. But, again, got to trust the supporting cast here in the third quarter.
And what we have seen here in this first half of play, Logan has trailed by 6 multiple times, but have never been able to get it underneath 6 points. I think they got it to 5 at one point in time, and then Chapmanville hit a 3 to put it back up to 8. But Chris, it's almost like that Scott game against Logan that we saw on Tuesday night. Scott was able to cut it to 4 and cut it to 4, but could never get it under. What does Logan have to do? We've said it. They need somebody else to score outside of her Early and Hatfield. What else do they have to do to try to cut into this Chapmanville lead?
It's going to have to start on the defensive end primarily, James. I mean, because they've done a solid job here in the first half, but Chapmanville's been shooting lights out. I mean, they hit 7 threes here in the first half, and I know you're scared. Well, I don't want to say scared, but I mean, you are obviously thinking about and concerned of the dribble drive ability of all of these Chapmanville players, because any one of them can get in the paint and create havoc. But at the same time, do you really want to die by watching Chapmanville hitting a dozen threes or more here tonight, which seems like they're on their way to? So Logan's got to honor that outside shooting. They just got to be able to stay in front of their man a little bit better whenever they get up tough man-to-man defense, because right now they're not closing out on three-point shooters. Chapmanville's done a good job of screening away and getting these guys open, or Chapmanville's been able to leak them in late and get some open looks. So Logan's just got to do a little bit better job of closing on that three-point line, forcing Chapmanville to go into the interior a little bit more, because Chapmanville hasn't shot as well from the inside as they have from the outside thus far, and I think Logan can create some opportunities off of misses. We've seen them do that here tonight. Early was able to get a couple fouls, get to the free throw line off of some misses by Chapmanville. They were able to create some turnovers here. Chapmanville got into the paint. So I think that that's going to be the starting point for Logan. Don't worry so much about how are we going to score here. You got to get the stops first in order to create those opportunities.
Nationwide insurance agent Greg Dalton is a proud supporter of Logan Wildcat and Chapmanville Tiger Athletics and the community of Logan County. For auto, home, life, and business insurance, call the Greg Dalton Agency at 304-752-8300. Halftime score, it's Chapmanville 34, Logan 25. That'll do it for the Gaddy's Pizza halftime show. Chris and I are going to step aside for a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll have the third quarter of action for you right here on WVOW and Video Productions.
Is 2019 the year you experience the American dream of owning your own home? If so, you should contact Hometown Real Estate. The agents at Hometown Real Estate have over 30 years of experience to help you through the home buying process. Take the first step in purchasing your next home and contact Hometown Real Estate today. They can show you the house that might be your next home.
You've been seriously injured. Now it's time to pick a lawyer.
You pick one with big verdicts and settlements?
We've successfully handled many million-dollar cases.
How about the recommendation of a friend?
We probably help somebody in your neighborhood.
How about a firm with lots of resources?
You can have it all.
We're Farmer Klein & Campbell.
Well known and very effective.
When you call us about your injury, you'll know you've made the right decision.
Farmer Klein & Campbell is the way to go. Call 346-5990.
You see, Brad, songs are really about big life moments. Baby shower here. Big life moment.
What is in here?
Ooh, I hope it's a life insurance policy.
What?
It's a sensible gift. Protection for you and your family. Nationwide has all the tools to help you find the right coverage.
Tiny baby shoes. So close.
Makes no sense. Baby can't even walk. Should have been a life insurance policy. Plus would have been a great song. Think about it. The lyrics, beneficiaries. Ooh. Brad, where are you going?
Logan Physical Therapy wants to help you. Have you been injured at work or in an accident? Come to Logan Physical Therapy and Doug Hibbs will provide a thorough, careful evaluation and create a comprehensive treatment program that will get you back on your feet. Logan Physical Therapy, turning setbacks into comebacks.
Back here at Mingo Central High School, third quarter of this third round matchup between the Tigers and the Wildcats. James Barker, Chris Kidd with you. David Anderson back in the WVOW studios. And Robbie Mounts, our producer on video productions. Logan will move from right to left across your radio and internet feed here in the second half. Chapmanville from left to right. It's Chris and I perched high atop this second deck here at Mingo Central High School.
Yeah, me and this camera are fighting for position over here on the rail right now, James, and I think the camera's winning the battle.
Well, yeah, you don't need to box that thing out here in a second. No, inside, trying to go up against Obina. Step back jumper, good. Nice move from Peter No to get his first field goal of the second half, his fourth point of the game.
That was a great move, like you said, James. Missed a little bit of an opportunity to get a second foul on Obina there, though, if he would have gotten into him. But a great job, good start for Peter No. See if he can get himself going here.
Mullins guarded by Hatfield, gets it in the corner to Scholl. The right corner now, dribbles to the right wing, lob to Obina. He catches it inside, dribbles, controls, couldn't get the finger roll, fight for the rebound, all the way out to Drew Hatfield. Hatfield with it, racing in, couldn't be stopped, and finger rolls it in.
And they're a great job tiptoeing that sideline too, James, in order to get there. And now we see a quick start here, much like the second game in the third quarter. Can Logan have that big spurt like they did at the start of the third the last time these two met?
34-29, Elkins with it, top of the key, guarded by Early, now out to Obina. Swings it to Mullins. Mullins drives baseline, skip pass. Elkins, pull-up jumper at the elbow, good.
And Elkins, he had Andrew Scholl wide open at the top of the key, but Elkins, he's been feeling it tonight. That's his 8th point. Nice mid-range jumper. He's very good inside of 12 feet.
And ever since he signed with Wesleyan, he has played with a lot more confidence, Chris.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well over the last several games.
Early gives it off to Peter No, top of the key. Now over to Felder. Felder may have walked there just a little bit, but they give it across. Hatfield, wide open three. Shot no good. Rebound underneath by Obina. He gives it off to Mullins. Mullins pushes it up the floor. Phillip, foul line, kicks it out. Elkins down the corner. Scholl, wide open look from the right side. Gets it to go.
And there it is again, James. Off the miss. Chapmanville gets their shooters into position, and they're just too good at passing out of those breaks, and Scholl finds himself free in that corner. That's his third three of the night.
Hatfield will drive. Thought about the pull-up, tipped away, though. Stolen away by the Tigers. Up ahead now. Scholl, lob inside to Obina. Thought about the dunk, regathers himself, and now Early's going to pick up a foul. And we'll see if they call Obina in the shooting act there, and they do. So it'll be 2 shots for Obina.
Yeah, and again, the foul at the end of the half was against Noah Cook. They did signal on him and not David Early said, it's only number 2. But Shoal and Obina have been playing alley-oop Lob City the last couple of games with each other. That time the pass a little off the mark, but they did get the second foul on early, and Obina converts on the first free throw.
Look at our replay here as Obina obviously got fouled there on the wrist. As Early a little upset, but on the All-State Good Hands replay you could see that. Logan wanted to walk down there after Obina got the rebound. And right now, Logan started out this quarter, Chris, on a quick run, and Chapmanville has answered that quickly to lead by 12 now, 41-29.
Yeah, it's a 7-0 run since then, and Obina has hit his last 5 free throws. He's got 11 for the game.
Early drives in, shot up over Obina, no good. Rebound tipped out, and they're going to call a push. If that's on Peter No, that would be his third, and that would be a huge foul, and it is.
Yeah, it was either going to be Early or No that time, both of them in the area, but they get it on Peter, and that's number 3 on him. Now Zach Green with a decision, and he's going to go with Chucky Felder here. Peter No doesn't want to come out of this game, and this is going to be a couple of crucial minutes right here, James. I think Brad Napper is going to stick with Obina, and you're going to see Chapmanville try and attack this paint unless they have the open look from the outside to see if they can run this lead out a little bit further.
Elkins, top of the key, gives it across to Collins, guarded by Hayner. Now Mullins will reset, swings it across to Scholl. Scholl dribbles, top of the key, curls inside, pull-up jumper for Scholl. Couldn't get it to go, rebound underneath by Early. Early tried to push it up ahead. Beats 2 defenders, now gives it across to Devin Hatfield. Devin tried to drive in, saw Obina there, and pulled it back out.
Now let's see who they go to here again. Still no rebounding presence in for Logan right now.
They're going to call a foul on Scholl there as Early jumped into him. And with Scholl moving there, that's an easy blocking call on the Tigers.
Yeah, so that's going to be number 2 on Andrew Scholl now. And I think you're going to see David Early try and attack a little bit more, maybe try and get Chapmanville in a little bit more foul trouble, get Logan towards that penalty heading towards the fourth quarter. Again, they got a ways to go here, but they really need to try and find some ways to get some easy points.
5 minutes to go. Skip pass over to Devin Hatfield. He'll dribble. Now hand it off to Early. Early double team. Looking, picks it up and gives it over to Hayner on the left side. Now back to Early. Early now we'll try to back in on Collins. Early push off. That's an easy call. I mean, that was extended, Chris.
Yeah.
And the Logan fans aren't even upset. They know that was a little bit of a stiff arm there.
Yeah, again, it's pretty reminiscent of what Devin Collins did in the first half. Like you said, the officials have been very consistent about this call. You keep that arm in and don't extend it. They'll give you that much, but once you extend and you push, yeah, they're going to get you on that call. And Devin Collins did a nice job of staying right up on him that time to draw that foul.
Mullins inside to Obina. Obina, right-hand shot, no good off the glass. Rebound backside. They're probably going to call this against Chapmanville, and rightfully so. It looked like there was a push from the backside. They call that one on Obina as we look at our replay here on the Early foul back on the other end, and you can see that definitely an extension there.
Yeah, and down here, though, I mean, you see Chapmanville attacking the rim like I mentioned a moment ago with Peter No out. But a great job by Logan. I mean, they're not going to get any leak outs this way, but they are crashing the boards, making life difficult for Chapmanville on second chances.
Early skip pass in the corner. Good extra pass there. Hatfield pull-up jumper at the left elbow. Couldn't get the shot to go. Early gets the rebound underneath. He's triple teamed. Tried to go up. Obina blocks it from behind. Felder able to save it. And do they call a foul on Chucky there? I believe they did.
And again, Chucky, though, just being aggressive on that end. And Chucky playing football next fall at West Virginia State. Was great quarterback as well. He has got a motor for days, as we saw during football season. Right there, almost created the turnover right back. But again, Logan did a good job with that extra pass there, James. They got that look that they wanted that I mentioned, but unable to convert on it. But Logan's got to keep trusting that and hope they can knock down some shots.
Scholl gets it over across to Mullins, who's guarded by Devin Hatfield. Now will dribble the top of the key as Brad recalls the play, trying to get some spacing here for the Tigers as Brad Napper now trying to get a couple of high screens called for Mullins. Mullins skips it over to Collins. 3 on the way for Devin. No good. Rebound backed out to Elkins. Elkins lobs it inside. Shot up and good as Philip Mullins able to get the bucket.
And again, no Peter No in Chapmanville. They can take whatever shot they want and crash the boards. 6'4", David Early is the biggest man down low right now, and Chapmanville's just going to eat that for lunch.
Long 3 for Early. No good as Hatfield tried to save it, and Chapmanville will come up with it. Mullins up ahead with it now. Phillip crossed over off the foot of Drew Hatfield. He'll race up ahead as he got the steal. Hatfield will race in and gets the bucket and the foul. What a play by Drew Hatfield as he beats Phillip Mullins down the floor, and then he's fouled from behind. So Logan now with a chance to get some momentum back here in the third.
And that is a huge sequence right there, James. Again, Early took a rough shot on the other end here on the Kinzelaw instant replay. Chapmanville coming down, maybe looking for a dagger, and Drew Hatfield with a great play to strip Phillip Mullins, get the foul. This can maybe rejuvenate Logan a little bit here in the late stages of the third. They're down 12 with 3:05 to go. They've got to get moving here to get this back below 10 heading to the fourth.
11 points now for Hatfield on the night. It's an 11-point lead for the Tigers. 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter of play. Mullins off the floor now for Chapmanville with 3 fouls as Kish is checked into the game. Collins with it, top of the key. A little bit of a matchup zone again here for the Wildcats on the defensive end. And Brad Napper wants a 30-second timeout, so be sure to take some time to sign up for real-time text and email alerts about power outages and restoration estimates in your area at AppalachianPower.com/alerts.
And I think a good timeout there for Chapmanville after that to try and settle things down, as we see here on our Kinzelaw instant replay. Just the quick pass inside to Mullins off of that miss a moment ago to get that layup. But again, if Peter No's still out of this game here, James, I think you're going to see Chapmanville continue to attack the boards on the offensive end. And Logan's just got to find a way to fend them off in order to get these defensive rebounds. And even on the other end, we've seen Early work really hard to try and create some second chance opportunities. So again, this is about trying to sustain and keep yourselves alive heading to the fourth quarter right now. 2:45 going to be a long time to go without Peter No here at the end of the quarter. But Logan's got to continue that intensity on the defensive end here and try and get some box outs to prevent these second chance points.
Chapmanville basketball, they lead by 11, 43-32, 2:40 to go here in the third quarter of play. We thank you for listening and watching on Video Productions as well as on WVOW 101.9 FM, 1290 AM in Logan, West Virginia. Show with it, gets it inside to Kish. Kish, shot up, off the rim and good.
And with David Early with 3 fouls, James, they're not going to take him out, so Chapmanville just attacking him down on that low block.
Drew Hatfield with it. Will set things back up as he's guarded by Scholl. Chapmanville hasn't got out of this man-to-man defense much of the night. Hayner now drives baseline. He's cut off, gives it back to Early. Early dribbles in the paint. Good bounce pass inside to Felder, who is fouled by Obina, who will pick up his third. But Early there finding a way to get his teammates involved.
That was an unbelievable pass there, James, just looking at it straight on. He really didn't have a good angle at that and fit that through such a small gap in order to feed Chucky Felder on the way in. Great job of facilitating there by David Early, giving his teammates an opportunity.
And Felder makes his first point of the game as we see Mullins check back in for Obina now. So small lineups on the floor for both clubs as we looked at our All-State replay there on the Felder foul.
Yeah, and that was a big call as well, James, because now you get Obina off the floor as well, so both big men off. More of an equal playing field here.
Under 2 minutes to go. It's a 12-point lead for Chapmanville, 45-33. Scholl calling out for the offense to move a little bit. Now Mullins over here on the right side. Skips it inside to Collins at the foul line. Devin back outside. Scholl, long three on the way. Good. My goodness, Andrew Scholl hasn't shot it much tonight, Chris, but he's had 4 threes from the outside.
And he's just got one of the sweetest releases in all of basketball here in the state of West Virginia. You leave him open, you might as well leave your credit card number laying around for thieves.
15-point lead right now early. Jumper, no good. Rebound fought for. Kish is it going to be a foul? It was. Kish came over the back there, and that's an easy foul call. Charlie Short making the right call there as we look at our Kinzel Law Office replay on this three from Scholl.
And you see he's almost right at the eastern panhandle of the state as he knocked that one down here at Mingo Central High School. I mean, the kid's got range for days, as does Devin Collins, and that's what makes this Chapmanville lineup so difficult to guard. They can take you inside, they can take you outside, they can hurt you from so many different angles, and thus far here tonight, they've done every bit of that. That is now 9 threes for the game for Chapmanville.
Largest lead of the game, 15 early. Quick inbound pass to, or Hatfield's pass to Early. Early makes the buckets, a 13-point lead now, 48-35, minute 10 to go. Elkins wide open, three on the way for Elkins. Back rim, no good. Rebound tipped on the floor. Good hustle there by the Tigers as Collins comes away with it.
And Hunter Cook created that second chance, James. Great job getting his hand in on that.
Kish, way to save it, gets it over to Collins. Schultz, wide open look again. Can he get it to go? Couldn't get it that time. Rebound early from behind. He's fouled. And I believe they're going to call that one on Kish as we look at our All-State Good Hands replay on this quick inbound play to Early.
Yeah, he got a little bit of a pick there, James, and then a great swim move in order to get around Kish that time and get all the way to the basket. A much-needed easy bucket for the Logan Wildcats. Now can they end this quarter on a flurry again? Chapmanville led by 15. Can Logan get this down to 11 or 10? Just try and whittle away at this to give yourself a chance in the fourth.
I was going to ask you, how important is this possession for the Wildcats down 13 under a minute? Early thought about the three. He'll drive in, loses the ball. Hainer had it. Kish has it. Tipped in the backcourt. Collins picks it up. Collins has it now. He'll drive, and you're going to get a bump there on Devin Hatfield as he'll pick up his second. And Elkins and Devin Hatfield exchanging a couple pushes there.
Yeah, again, a little bit of bumping there after the play, and I think Brandon was trying to get a little bit of extra out of it after the fact, but thankfully the official just came in and told them both settle down, knock it off again. It didn't look like anything severe there, just Brandon trying to see if he could maybe get a little bit more out of that foul than what was there that time.
So Cook comes out, Mullins checks in, and Brad Napper's done a pretty good job of getting Mullins in on offensive possessions and Cook in on defensive possessions. Chapmanville struggling on the inbound, now getting into Collins in the right corner. Collins dribbles up to the top of the key. Now looking and gives it off to Mullins and Kish, and they run into each other, and it's a turnover for the Tigers there with 22 seconds to go. And now he wants Cook back into the game, obviously, for Mullins to keep Phillip out of foul trouble.
Yeah, he wasn't happy at all with Kish or Mullins after that, if you saw him on the sidelines. And both of them just got into each other's space that time. And that is a big turnover because if you're Chapmanville, you had the ball to try and end the quarter, get the ball to start the fourth. Now you give Logan another opportunity to try and cut this lead down. So a big possession here for the Wildcats.
Hatfield has it, and they're going to have a foul there on Elkins. Is that his third or fourth, Chris?
Yeah, if that's Elkins, and that's going to be number 3 on him. So now you've got several Tigers in foul trouble, and that's going to put Logan in the 1-and-1, James, and Chapmanville not far behind.
And you mentioned that was one of your keys of this quarter for the Wildcats to try to get to the foul line and extend this game a little bit.
Yeah, that's what they did so successfully against Scott the other night. Again, shot 30 free throws in that game. They need to do that heading to the fourth here because they are still struggling from the floor. See if they can get this done at the free throw line. And Hainer, who was so big the other night in that game against Scott, hits a big front end of the 1-and-1.
48-36 now. Chapmanville ahead by 12 with 14.1 seconds to go. As Logan trying to claw their way back here into the third quarter as Hainer makes both. 11-point lead now, 48-37, under 10 seconds to go. Mullins has it, guarded by Drew Hatfield. Phillips, 7 seconds, gets it up top to Collins, almost lost it, did lose it, no, he's fouled.
And Logan was so close, James, to a run out there to end the third quarter in a spurt and get it below 10, but the reach in there at the last second, they raked across Collins and drew the foul, and that's Drew Hatfield with his second.
I'm not entirely sure that there was a lot of contact there for that foul to be called, but the officiating crew has a better look of it than I do up here, sometimes blocked out from our vantage point. 3 seconds to go. Mullins has it, 2 seconds. Will he pull up? Does he get it off in time? Does. Shot. Couldn't get it to go, though. Chapmanville will take an 11-point lead into the fourth quarter of play against the Logan Wildcats as they lead Logan 48-37. Chris and I will be back with a fourth quarter of play right after this. You're listening to Logan and Chapmanville basketball action right here on WVOW and Video Productions.
Mitsubishi, located on 119 in Chapmanville, is here to support you. Go Thornhill and expect the best with total value, service, and pricing on your next vehicle. Open 7 days a week and home of the Mitsubishi under 20 grand. Shop Thornhill Mitsubishi today.
Chronic wounds can really slow you down. At Logan Regional Medical Center, we want to help you get back to doing the things you love without having to travel far from home. That's why the team from our Advanced Care Wound Center combines expertise and advanced technology, like the region's only hyperbaric oxygen therapy program, helping you to heal quickly. Logan Regional Medical Center.
Healing starts here.
For your next vehicle, shop Thornhill Mitsubishi. Value, confidence, fast and easy credit acceptance, and total support with our 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty on every new Mitsubishi. No matter what lies on the road ahead, Thornhill.
Chapmanville basketball to start the fourth quarter of play. Obina and a Chili Killen back into the game, has the ball, gives it across to Mullins. Back to Schultz. Schultz, wide open look from the right side. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound tipped by Obina. He couldn't get it to go. On the floor with it. Early picks it up. Dribbles between two guys, and now will drive up the floor. Early, step through, layup good for David Early, and Logan's momentum is building here in the fourth.
And again, great start to the fourth for Logan. A great steal underneath after that missed putback by Obina. Tried to tip it back in instead of grabbing it and going back up. But a full head of steam, and you can tell David Early here really going to try and carry his club in the fourth. It was a 15-point lead a moment ago. It's a 6-0 Logan run, and an opportunity to cut this down to 8 here for Early.
Logan has battled back here at the end of the third, and now to start the fourth quarter, they have cut it to 8, 48-40.
And Logan now 10 of 12 from the free throw line here in the game. Chapmanville 9 of 11. We're going to see a lot of free throws here in the fourth. Both teams now in the penalty.
Scholl has it. Looking like a 3-2 zone here now for the Wildcats. Obina tried to get an inside ball tip, controlled back outside, stolen by Hatfield. The Wildcats with a chance to cut it to a 2-score game. Devin Hatfield, 3 on the way, gets it to go. Big shot from the young freshman, and the Wildcat fans on their feet. It's a timeout from Brad Napper, and Logan really feeling it here in the fourth. We'll step aside for a full timeout. It's Chapmanville 48, Logan 43. Back after this, you're listening to Logan and Chapmanville basketball right here on WVOW and Video Productions.
Live your life like a dreamer. Fly all over the world. Open your shell so the world can see. You're a beautiful pearl. Live your day like you mean it. And don't forget who you are. You're free to go anywhere. There's no distance too far.
Is 2019 the year you experienced the American dream of owning your own home? If so, you should contact Hometown Real Estate. The agents at Hometown Real Estate have over 30 years of experience to help you through the home buying process. Take the first step in purchasing your next home and contact Hometown Real Estate today. They can show you the house that might be your next home.
Back here at Mingo Central High School, a huge run for the Logan Wildcats as they have cut the Chapmanville lead to 5, 48-43. James Barker, Chris Kidd with you on this production of Logan and Chapmanville basketball on WVOW and Video Productions. Under 7 minutes to play here in the fourth. Obina with it, top of the key, gives it off to Scholl, gets a screen. Now will curl, gets it into the corner as Mullins has it. Phillip now will dribble it back up top, and Chapmanville will reset the offense. Phillip trying to get it into Collins. Collins at the top of the key, guarded by Cook. Collins will dribble back outside, hands it off to Kish now, who's guarded by Early. Right side over to Obina in the corner. Obina looks inside, gets it over the head of Collins, and Logan just doing everything right. Chapmanville doing everything wrong here in the first 2 minutes of this quarter.
And the defensive intensity has really picked up for Logan right now, James. They are swallowing up Chapmanville on the offensive end. Nowhere to go for the Tigers, no one getting open. It's a 10-0 run now for Logan, and it all started with that steal by Drew Hatfield when Chapmanville had a possibility of putting this game away back in the third.
Peter No with it, gives it over to Drew Hatfield. They tried to get him a look at three. Good defense for the Tigers. Devin Hatfield now gets it to Early. Guarded by Mullins. Early head fakes. Now we'll drive in. Jump stop. Obina with the block. Early gets his own rebound. Goes up strong. Gets the bucket. It's a one-possession game as Logan trails by 3. It's not been this close since the first quarter early on. Mullins skip past corner, almost a shot, now inside to Collins. Collins goes up, he's blocked by Peter No. Logan fans are livid. They thought it was clean. It will send Collins to the line as we look at Early's putback here on our replay.
And again, Early fighting underneath to get the positioning he needs in order to go back up after that block from Obina, but a huge call on the other end here, James. I couldn't see it clearly from where we were at, but Collins misses on the first free throw, a big miss there. So we'll have to see here on Peter No, and ooh, that looked clean, James. That looked like Peter No got that clean, and that is a big call the other way.
Well, right now, Peter No with 4 fouls, and we'll probably see Felder check in for him. Collins makes 1 of 2 at the line. It's now a 4-point lead for Chapmanville as Felder does check in for Peter No. We probably won't see him until we get under 3 minutes.
Yeah, and that's been the story of the evening, unfortunately, for Logan, as Peter No's been out. And again, he was playing such a big presence here in the early part of the third quarter. Now can Logan do what they did late in the third quarter with him on the bench and be able to keep this game within striking distance before he comes back? They got to get it across the timeline.
Yeah, Cook finally does. Now gets it in the hands of Early. Now back outside to Drew Hatfield as Logan will set up their offense with 5:20 to go here in the fourth quarter. 49-45. Chapmanville leads by 4. Hatfield looking for Early. Early has it top of the key. Now he'll spin. He'll drive in the lane. Shot up. No good, and they're going to call block on Mullins. That's his 4th as he slid under Early, who was already in the air.
Yeah, that was a good call that time. Again, Mullins established position too late that time, slid underneath him, and they're going to get that call every time on the defender, and that's big because now, like you said, James, 4 on Phillip Mullins, and tried to pick up the 4th on David Early, but now Mullins will go to the bench for Kish, and they've got Peter No at the scores table here, so Zach Green going to gamble with his big man and hope that he can get through the rest of this without any further damage.
Look at your replay here as, you can see Mullins slide in there late, and that's an easy call in your All-State Good Hands replay. Early makes the first. A chance now to cut it to 2, Chris. And man, oh man, are we set up for a fantastic finish between these two rivals. Early makes it. 2-point game, 49-47.
And it is now, since 48-33, a 14-1 run. Now do the champs respond, or can Logan end this 7-game losing streak to Chapmanville?
Kish to Collins, top of the key. Over to Obina in the right wing. Obina looks, gives it off to Elkins. Elkins over to Kish in the right side. Thought about trying to get it inside to Obina. Now does on the right block. He'll go right at Peter No. Shot up. Obina gets it to go. And you can tell they're trying to get Peter No out of the game right now with that 5th foul.
Yeah, and Obina might have got away with a travel on the inside that time too, James. Looked like he switched his feet, but man, oh man, what a great take as well to get around Peter No that time. But Peter No didn't look like he backed off, and I don't think he's going to be able to. He's going to have to play full tilt here these final 4 minutes.
And we have a 5-second call. Good defense there from Scholl as Hatfield just couldn't find anybody open to get it into to start the offensive set, and that's a huge turnover right now as Logan has had all this momentum until that Obina basket.
Yeah, and that might be what switches the light back on for Chapmanville here. We wondered, how will the champs respond here to this challenge from the Wildcats? The last 2 possessions have been a good tell for the Tigers.
Scholl drives in, gives it off to Elkins. Elkins back in the corner. Scholl 3 on the way. Side of the rim, no good. Rebound Elkins. He fights for it, gets it to Collins. Collins goes up, shot up, no good. Rebound Collins ripped away by Peter No.
Nice, strong rebound by Peter No that time and maintained his position to stop that shot from Collins.
Early drives in, and they're going to call a hand check foul on Chapmanville underneath. That is the 10th team foul. That will go on, looks like Elkins, who picks up his 4th, and that means 2 shots now for the Wildcats the rest of the way.
Yeah, I tell you what, the foul trouble piling up right now for Chapmanville. 4 on Elkins, 3 on Scholl, 3 on Obina, 4 on Mullins at the moment. On the other end, Early with 3 and No with 4. So Logan in less duress than Chapmanville right now, and now Logan gets the 2-shot foul.
Early makes the first. 3-point lead now for Chapmanville. We look at that foul as Elkins called for that block there. It was Early now at the line trying to cut it back to 2.
He's reached that magic number of 24 again, James. He had that the first 2 times against Chapmanville, and that's where he'll stay as he misses the second.
3-point lead for Chapmanville, 51-48, 3:40 to go here in the fourth quarter. A fantastic finish set up for you on Video Productions and WVOW Radio. Obina with it. Top of the key, guarded by Noah as he comes out. Now he'll drive. Obina goes in. Left-hand shot up and good for Obina and a Chili Killen. And that may be called on Peter No. And it is. That's his 5th.
And a tough way to go out if you're Peter No. He took an elbow to the chops that time on the way in. But again, much like David Early with the push-off earlier, the officials don't see that. Again, we'll see if we can get it here on Video Productions. No, you don't see it right there. And that's the angle the official saw it from. On the other side, he can't see that extension of that elbow. And you got that head rock back on No, but it looks like contact on him. And Peter No fouls out on what, unfortunately for him, was something that was out of his control. There was just a victim of circumstance.
Obina makes it the old-fashioned 3-point play. And the Tigers lead by 6 again, 54-48. Hatfield brings it up the floor. It's Hatfield, Felder, Cook, Hatfield, and Early on the floor for the Wildcats. Hatfield, floater blocked by Obina. Tried to get to the ball. Cook's able to chase it down. Cook gets it over to Devin Hatfield. Devin now back outside to Drew Hatfield, and Early picks it up as Kish will guard him. 3:05. Drive in Early, left-hand shot up, good! As he gets it go over Obina and Early. And Obina say a few words to each other. I'm sure they're exchanging addresses for Christmas cards later in the year.
Yeah, and there's that extension of that left hand, but he kept it in, James. So that's where they won't call it. Again, it's when you get that full extension, they'll call it.
Scholl drives in. Good drive by Scholl. Gets the layup to go.
And, man, both sides making plays here down the stretch, James. It's what you wanted to see.
Absolutely. Great basketball here tonight from Mingo Central. Early, step back 3. Couldn't get it. Rebound Collins underneath. 6-point lead for Chapmanville. 2:30 to go. Collins triple team. May have been fouled. No call. Felder gets it off the face of Drew Hatfield, and it's a steal for the Cats. Early with it now. He'll drive in. He goes at Obina. Shot up, no good, but they'll send Early to the line, and Obina picks up his 4th.
And again, that was another good take, and that's something that Obina hasn't quite figured out in those other meetings against Logan. David Early is very crafty whenever he gets into the paint right there, and Obina just can't go up for the block like he does against other opponents. David Early's too smart for that.
Full timeout will do the same. 56-50 in favor of Chapmanville over Logan, as Early will go to the line to shoot 2 when we come back. You're listening to Logan and Chapmanville basketball right here on WVOW and Video Productions.
You see, Brad, songs are really about big life moments. Baby shower here. Big life moment.
What is in here?
Ooh, I hope it's a life insurance policy.
What?
It's a sensible gift. Protection for you and your family. Nationwide has all the tools to help you find the right coverage.
Tiny baby shoes. So close.
Makes no sense. Baby can't even walk. Should have been a life insurance policy. Plus would have been a great song. Think about it. The lyrics, beneficiaries. Ooh, Brad, where are you going?
Williamson Health and Wellness Center has a mission to create an innovative culture of health that accelerates positive growth throughout rural communities. What does that mean for you? It means better health care through family medicine from qualified physicians who genuinely care. It means access to community outreach programs that help us live healthier lives. It means security in knowing you get incredible care right here. Everyone deserves access to quality, affordable health care. Williamson Health and Wellness Center.
Back here at Mingo Central High School, James Barker, Chris Kidd with you on the call of what has been another classic between these two clubs, Logan and Chapmanville, as Chapmanville a 56-50 lead with Early at the line to shoot 2. Robbie Mounts, our producer on Video Productions. David Anderson back into WVOW Studios. We thank you for listening to this basketball game and watching on Video Productions, and then listening on WVOW 101.9 FM, 1290 AM in Logan, West Virginia. Early misses the first as Mullins checks back in for Kish here with 2:18 to go in the fourth quarter.
And again, every one of these free throws is very crucial right now. James, big miss there. He's got to have this one.
Misses that one. There's 2 huge misses for Early, who, for the most part, Chris, has been phenomenal at the line all season. Scholl has it, crosses the timeline. Chapmanville trying to run some clock here. You see him, and there's triangle set here. Weave up top. Scholl with it, guarded hard by Devin Hatfield. Shaw will drive in, gets to the lane, and then he's fouled as Devin Hatfield will pick up a foul. It's a 1-and-1 opportunity now for the Tigers as Shaw goes to the line to shoot the front end.
And again, those two misses from Early James could end up being very, very crucial in this. Again, Early was 9 of 10 at the line, and he's missed his last 3 now. And those two misses right there could end up spelling doom for Logan tonight, as now you got Scholl going to the line, one of the more reliable free throw shooters.
Misses. Rebound underneath by Early, and the Cats with a chance to cut it to a one-score game, 56-50. 1:45 to go here in the fourth. Felder with it.
And you can see nerves on both ends now, James.
Devin Hatfield, good head fake. Steps inside the three-point line, gets the jumper to go. It's a 4-point game now. Devin Hatfield with 8 points on the night. The young freshman has had to hit some big shots when needed for the Cats.
Yeah, how impressive has this kid been in the last couple of games under pressure, and he's been able to live up to it.
Scholl with it. Gets it across to Elkins. Top of the key. 1:22 to go. Hands it off to Mullins. Mullins guarded by Drew Hatfield. Mullins dribbles baseline. Now back outside to Elkins on the right side. Almost lost it, and Brad Napper wants a timeout. Comley takes a timeout here with 1:12 to go. We'll keep things here as we'll try to reset things here for you. 56-52 in favor of the Tigers. Both teams now in the double bonus the rest of the way, Chris. Chapmanville with the basketball, Logan with the possession arrow if that comes into play here late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see what Logan elects to do here. Chapmanville's going to try and run clock now. I mean, they are in that position where they don't have to score anymore. They can try and work this down as much as they want, so it'll be interesting to see what Zach Green elects to do. Again, because Chapmanville's going to go into the double bonus as well on the next foul, so how long does he wait to see if his defense can get a turnover in this position? You know he's going to try to for at least maybe 10, maybe 15, 20 seconds at most here, but if Chapmanville can hang on, then it comes down to a free throw shooting contest. So right now, all the cards with Chapmanville, but can Logan create an opportunity here for themselves? They've been able to come up with a couple of key steals when they needed to. Drew Hatfield's the man you want to look for to see if he can come up with the ball here.
72 seconds to go. Obina gets it inside to Phillip. Now Mullins back outside to Obina as Collins back outside to Phillip. They're going to try to run some clock, and Drew Hatfield fouls Phillip Mullins, and that'll send Mullins to the line to shoot foul shots. The last time we saw Mullins try to ice a game away, Chris, with foul shots at the line, turned out pretty good for Chapmanville.
Yeah, he walked away with a state championship ring whenever he did it again. They were the ones, Fairmont fouling him at the end of that game, and Phillip Comley sank 6 free throws to end that, and he does so to start off here.
5-point lead now for Chapmanville, 57-52, as we'll see Jordan Kish check back in for the Tigers.
Now they're going to go with Kish on the defensive end. Obviously, Elkins a little bit stymied with those 4 fouls. They want to keep him in just for offensive purposes, so I think good substitution there, getting Kish with only 2 fouls on the floor.
Place goes dead quiet while Phillips at the line misses the second, though. 57-52. A minute to go here in this third matchup. Ball tipped away, stolen by Obina. Now Phillip has it. Scholl with it, and they push Phillip from behind, and Mullins will go back to the line to shoot 2, and it's been timely turnovers for this Chapmanville defense that have kept Logan away from this lead.
Yeah, right there. I mean, that was just a great play by Obina and Achille Killen. Jumped the passing lane on that, beat the offensive player to the ball to tip that away, so it was good no call, even with the contact that time, and a tremendous defensive effort. Now can Mullins make this a 3-possession game?
Makes the first, 1 shot away from doing that. 54.6 seconds to go here on top of Minor Mountain. Some Logan fans starting to file out. Mullins makes it a 3-possession game. As we have a timeout on the floor, it looks like it's going to be a full timeout. We'll do the same. 59-52, Chapmanville leads. We'll be back after this. You're listening to Logan and Chapmanville basketball right here on WVOW and Video Productions.
I've been a lot of things over the years. Your blind spot, your loose satellite dish, a literal deer in the headlights. But it's a new year and I'm making a resolution. No more mayhem. This year, I'm everything that helps keep you safe. Like the fuzzy yellow tennis ball dangling from a string, helping make sure you pull the car in far enough. But not too far.
Logan Physical Therapy wants to help you. Have you been injured at work or in an accident? Come to Logan Physical Therapy and Doug Hibbs will provide a thorough, careful evaluation and create a comprehensive treatment program that will get you back on your feet. Logan Physical Therapy, turning setbacks into comebacks.
Back here at Mingo Central High School, James Barker, Chris Kidd with you. Robbie Mounts, our producer for video productions. David Anderson back in the WVOW studios. 7-point lead for the for the Tigers, 59-52. Under a minute to go. Logan basketball. Early with it, guarded by Mullins. Good behind the back dribble, shot up in the glass, no good. Rebound, Obina. He's fouled by Cook, and Logan just hasn't been able to get anything going under 2 minutes, Chris. You go back to that 2-minute mark, and Chapmanville pushed it back to a 5-point lead. It's kind of been all Chapmanville since that moment in time.
Yeah, and Peter No going out of this game with that 5th foul was extremely crucial whenever Obina was able to get him down low on that 5th foul with that N1. I mean, that was the big point of the game, the big turning point. And Obina, unbelievable effort at the free throw line. He was 2 of 4 early. Since then, he has made his last 7.
Broadcaster's jinx? Nope. Makes the next one. It's a 9-point lead for the Tigers, 61-52. The Tigers can smell their 4th straight sectional title. Steal by Collins, off of early. Collins lays it in, and Chapmanville is going to pick up their sectional title here soon, Chris. 11-point lead with 25 seconds left. Early, ball's tipped away from him. Scholl racing in, tries to slow play it, gets the bucket and the foul, and the Tiger fans on their feet, and the Wildcat fans filing out.
Andrew Scholl, just a huge show of emotion after that basket. I mean, such a mild-mannered kid for the most part, a fun kid to be around too. He's got a great personality, but right there able to draw that foul on early, get the N1, control that all the way up, as we'll see here on our All-State Instant Replay. It looked like he was going to pull it out early, got him good on the way up, and Andrew Scholl, you could tell how much he wanted this after coming from Huntington, and right there he had a big night tonight, 4 threes, and he's going to end with 17 points.
And the Tigers starting to clear their bench a little bit to get their guys off the floor to a rousing ovation. As we'll see Tucker Dalton, Hunter Cook, and Garrett Richard check into the game. 18 seconds to go. It's a 14-point lead for the Tigers. 3 from early, pulls up, hits it a little bit too late, as Sabina's fouled there by Devin Hatfield.
And again, just an unbelievable effort. Once this game got down to 2, James, we said we're going to see what the Chapmanville State Championship medal was made of in that stretch, and they have shown why. They're the defending state champs and 4-time now defending sectional champions. Logan did an unbelievable job of fighting back from 15 down to cut this to 1 possession. They showed why they've been one of the best teams all year, but Chapmanville just too much down the stretch for Logan, and without Peter No, made it such a much more difficult task.
Hunter Jeffrey checking into the game for the Tigers. Yeah, Chris, let's not be remiss. Logan cut this to 2 at one point in time here tonight. They fought back valiantly here tonight, but the Tigers just too much here in the latter part of the 4th quarter. As Obina checks out, Larry Osborne into the game. It's a 13-point lead for Chapmanville, 6 seconds to go. All the Tiger fans on their feet as Hatfield dribbles around. 3 on the way, no good. And the Chapmanville Tigers, their 4th straight sectional championship here in Region 4, Section 2. They defeat Logan with a final score of 68-55. Chris and I are going to step aside, and we'll come back with the postgame show right after this. You're listening to Logan and Chapmanville basketball action right here on WVOW and Video Productions.
Remember that accident I got in with the pole and I had to make a claim and all that?
Is that whole thing still dragging on?
No, I took some pics with the app and
Filed a claim, but you know how they send you money to cover repairs and...
It took forever to pay you, right?
No, I got paid right away, but at the very end of it all, my agent wouldn't even call you back, right?
No, she called to see if I was happy, but if I wasn't happy with my claim experience for any reason, they'd give me my money back. No questions asked. Can you believe that? No.
The claim satisfaction guarantee, only from Allstate. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Chronic wounds can really slow you down. At Logan Regional Medical Center, we want to help you get back to doing the things you love without having to travel far from home. That's why the team from our Advanced Care Wound Center combines expertise and advanced technology, like the region's only hyperbaric oxygen therapy program, helping you to heal quickly. Logan Regional Medical Center.
Healing starts here.
Double your cash and double your fun with a new ride. Let Thornhill Mitsubishi make it happen. Thornhill will put you in a brand new Mitsubishi for under 20 grand and double your tax refund. These offers are moving fast. Visit ThornhillMitsubishi.com to double up and save.
Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services, founded in 1975 by Riley Joe Evans, is a full-service funeral provider, offering services that respect all faiths, personal preferences, and financial considerations. They are the only funeral home in Boone, Lincoln, Logan, and Mingo counties with its own crematory. For more information, contact Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 304-855-3232 or visit www.evans-funeral-home.com or like Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services on Facebook to see their updated obituary information.
Celebrate President's Day like a VIP with Thornhill Mitsubishi in Chapmanville. Our friends and family benefits continue on new 2018 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, including 0% for 72 months plus $1,000 rebate or $2,500 VIP.
Back here on the post-game show, James Barker, Chris Kidd with you. Again, your final score, Chapmanville 68, Logan 55. This is the fourth straight sectional championship for the Chapmanville Regional Tigers. And Chris, you mentioned it during the break. This is the 8th straight win for Chapmanville over Logan.
Yeah, I mean, no way would we have thunk this back in the day, just how much Logan dominated this rivalry. Again, Chapmanville hadn't beaten them since the 1950s, and whenever they came back to AA in 2006, from 2006 to 2011, Chapmanville couldn't even come close to Logan except for one outing that I can recall, and Logan won 13 in a row, but now Chapmanville has won the last 8. They flipped this rivalry on its head, and it's really been an odd type of situation. Again, Logan has been the king of this county for so long, and now you've had the little brother step up in the past couple of years and start to take 2 in a row sectional titles from them, winning in each and every game. That's the second year in a row where they've won all 3 encounters against the Wildcats. But again, Logan is getting a lot closer, okay? I mean, I know a lot of people out there that are Wildcat fans, don't like this ending, don't like the final score on this one, but Logan was there each and every time at the end against Chapmanville. But each and every time right down the stretch, it was Chapmanville that made the plays whenever they had to, and Logan just wilted a little bit towards the end. And that's why Chapmanville was the defending state champions coming in, and they've been able to show that in almost every tight game they've had this year. And the only 2 losses they have been by 2 points against nationally ranked teams. So Logan has nothing to hang their heads about walking out of here tonight. Again, I think they know that they can beat Chapmanville if they're playing their best tonight. Again, David Early, a big effort from him, 29 points, but again, just couldn't get enough from the supporting cast. Again, they did step up pretty well tonight, though, James. Again, 11 points from people other than Peter No, David Early, or Drew Hatfield. So 11 points, that was almost what they had combined in the first 2 games. Again, only 12 points combined in the first 2 games from the supporting cast. So I thought they stepped up reasonably well tonight, but again, just needing a little bit more. And if there would happen to be a 4th encounter, that's what it'll come down to again. Like I said, David Early's going to get his points, but it's pretty much Chapmanville 6 against Logan's 2 or 3 on the offensive end. And tonight, again, whenever we run through the final scoring, you'll hear and understand just how Chapmanville hurts you in so many different ways. But on the other end, David Early, if he doesn't get around that 25 or higher mark, it makes it very difficult for Logan to hang in.
Chris, when you start looking at the final scoring, and you've mentioned this multiple times, and you just talked about it as well, for Logan, Early finishing with 29, Hatfield with 11, Peter No with 4, Devin Hatfield with 8 off the bench, Mitchell Hayner with 2, and Chucky Felder with 1. For Chapmanville, Andrew Scholl finishing with 17 points tonight. Him and Obina Anachili Kill and Chris really the two key contributors. But when you look at the way Chapmanville scored tonight, it's the way they've scored all season long. You just never know who's going to have the big game. Tonight, I really believe it was Andrew Scholl.
Yeah, I agree. And, the effort again all the way around with Obina, Scholl, Collins getting his when he needed to, Mullins as well. I mean, just Brandon Elkins with that quick start to the game, finishing with 8 points too. Like I said, it's just a smorgasbord of solid outings here tonight. Again, 28, 10, 5, 17, 8. I mean, that is balance that any team in the state would kill to have, or any team across the country would kill to have. And that's what's helped Chapmanville win these ball games. Again, their depth, their ability to be able to count on other people whenever they need to is just the big ingredient that Chapmanville has that a lot of other teams don't have right now. And here in the fourth quarter, another big advantage Chapmanville had was at the free throw line. They both went into the fourth quarter 9 of 11 from the charity stripe, James. Chapmanville, though, they went 19 of 24, so they shot 6 more free throws than Logan in the fourth. Logan 13 of 18, and the three-point line proved to be big tonight. Logan shot pretty well from the line, or from the three-point stripe, better than they did in the first 2 games against Chapmanville. They hit 6 threes tonight, but Chapmanville just 9 deadly threes this evening. Again, the outside shooting set up the interior play later on, and Chapmanville, again, can just do it from all spots of the floor whenever they've got so many scores on the floor.
Time now for the temp control hot hand of the game. Tonight's hot hand going to David Early in the losing calls tonight, Chris. David Early finishing with 29 points on the night for the Wildcats. And without early on, Chris, Chapmanville was going to kind of blow the doors off this thing. Early had the first 8 points of the game for the Wildcats. And really, when you look back at that first quarter, Chapmanville led as many by 10 in that first quarter, Chris, and without Early, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, I mean, David Early, he can backpack a lot of situations whenever he has to. And tonight you saw him come out very aggressive right from the tip, looking to establish himself in this game. And once again, just an unbelievable effort. I mean, this kid, I haven't seen a kid with that type of size have that type of quickness and those type of moves when he gets to the interior. I mean, my goodness. I mean, he makes very good defenders look like children out there sometimes. I mean, David Early is just such a phenomenal person to watch play basketball, and tonight, he kept his team in it for long stretches and was able to provide the offense they needed. You knew he was going to need somewhere around 25, if not more, tonight for Logan. He was able to deliver on his end of things, but as I said, Chapmanville, they make him pay almost every time he comes in. I mean, how many times we see Early hit the deck tonight? I mean, some of that was of his own doing whenever he came down, but David Early has taken a lot of punishment against this Chapmanville team, and they make him work for every bit of it, and hats off to David Early being able to get the production he's been able to against one of the best defensive teams in the state. I mean, it's phenomenal to watch.
So tonight's hot hand goes to David Early. This winter, if you want your home to be as comfortable as possible, call Stuart Trickler and Roland Mullins of Temp Control of Chapmanville, 304-855-5200. Chris and I are going to step aside for a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll have the Farmer Klein and Campbell player of the game, as well as the American Electric Power play of the game. You're listening to Logan and Chapmanville basketball action right here on WVOW and Video Productions.
Kinzel Law Office is a local firm located at 36 Adams Street in Chapmanville. Rob Kinzel has been practicing law in Logan County for over 15 years and is dedicated to providing quality legal representation for personal injury, criminal defense, and family law for individuals and families throughout southern West Virginia. Call Kinzel Law Office today to set up your free consultation. Rob Kinzel, quality legal services close to home.
Live your life like a dreamer. Fly all over the world. Open your shut so the world can see. You're a beautiful pearl. Live your day like you mean it. And don't forget who you are. You're free to go anywhere. There's no distance too far.
When you're looking for a small local doctor with a big heart, you've come to the right place at Logan Pediatrics. Your child's care is in good hands with our friendly staff of professionals. Our state-of-the-art clinic offers the best in technology and pediatric health care, from immunizations to annual checkups. Most insurance accepted, licensed and insured. Call 304-239-0301 or visit loganpediatrics.com. Located at 300 Prosperity Lane, Suite 100 in Logan. We're also proud to welcome our new location in Danville.
Is 2019 the year you experience the American dream of owning your own home? If so, you should contact Hometown Real Estate. The agents at Hometown Real Estate have over 30 years of experience to help you through the home buying process. Take the first step in purchasing your next home and contact Hometown Real Estate today. They can show you the house that might be your next home.
Once again, your final score tonight, Chapmanville 68, Logan 55. Chapmanville picks up their 4th straight sectional championship and their 8th straight win over the Logan Wildcats in this heated rivalry between these two schools. James Barker, Chris Kidd with you. Robbie Mounts, our producer on video productions, and David Anderson back in the WVOW studios. Time now for the Farmer Klein & Campbell Player of the Game. And tonight, Chris, couldn't pick the high scorer of the game, but I thought this young man impacted the game in so many ways tonight, finishing with 17 points and really closed out the game for Chapmanville in the right way, and that's Andrew Scholl.
Yeah, I mean, he ended up knocking down key three-pointers, it felt like, every time Chapmanville needed it. I mean, every time Logan would close at the 6, Scholl would bury one to get the lead back out, and tonight hit 4 3-pointers for the game, 2 of those in the first half, and then had 11 points in the second half, and really closed out the game strong there, again, with that N1 at the end against Early to really put the exclamation point on things. I mean, Andrew Scholl, he's been such a great pickup for Chapmanville, and he's been in these big game situations before. Won a state championship as the 6th man off the bench for Huntington his freshman year, and now down here with the Tigers. He's a guy that has championship pedigree as well, and he's been a massive addition to this Tiger team, and they couldn't have gotten it done tonight without his offense on that end, and even his defense on the other end did a great job on both ends of the floor for the Tigers.
So, Andrew Scholl, your Farmer Klein & Campbell Player of the Game, as the Tiger fans still on the floor celebrating their sectional championship here tonight. Still a little bit cutting down the net. I think one of them is gone finally. So Chapmanville picks up the sectional title here tonight against Logan. Time now for the American Electric Power, or Appalachian Electric
There you go.
Power. Thinking about national stuff here. Appalachian Electric Power Play of the Game, and Robbie Mounts does an excellent job for us and set this clip up for you. This is late in the fourth quarter as Scholl trying to put things away, just the dicing through the Logan defense and gets the layup to go. And that was a big bucket in the game, Chris. That was late in that fourth quarter where Chapmanville started to pull away and Logan could never catch back up.
Yeah, that was right there in that stretch where they were going back and forth at each other. Logan had the lead, or Chapmanville had the lead 54-50 at that moment. Scholl able to cut through that defense, able to get to the rim, lay that ball in, and then on the next possession, he had a missed 3 from Logan. Chapmanville's able to come back down, get another bucket, and that's whenever you started to see Chapmanville get their extension in this game. But to go from 4 to 6 on that drive from Scholl proved to be very costly for Logan as the Tigers closed out on a 14-5 run to pull away in this sectional championship.
That was your Appalachian Power Electric Play of the game. With severe winter just around the corner, make sure you stay connected with immediate alerts on power outages and restoration estimates by signing up at AppalachianPower.com/alerts. Chris and I will be off until Wednesday, where Chapmanville will host a Region 4 co-championship. Logan will go on the road to a Region 4 co-championship. We do not know who they will play just quite yet. It will be between, I believe, Polka and Nitro, and I'm sure we will have coverage of both games, not only on some sort of WVOW platform, but as well on video productions. That'll be next Wednesday. Chapmanville at home, Logan on the road. Those teams that they will play against yet to be determined.
Yeah, and both Logan and Chapmanville were able to beat those teams in the regular season. And, you feel like going into that game, it'll probably be Nitro as the favorite going up against Polka. And they play different brands of ball. Again, Alan Osborne's been able to put together that Polka team very well this year. They're very methodical. They work the ball around. They can slow the pace. We saw Polka give Logan some trouble in the last game they played for about 3 quarters before Logan pulled away. Nitro, they'll run and gun with you a little bit more. Again, with Joel Sweat, one of the top top scorers in the Cardinal Conference. He likes to get out and score. Chapmanville beat them by 14 earlier this year. I can't remember exactly how much Logan beat Nitro by in their contest this season. And Chapmanville had 2 fairly dominant wins over the Polka Dots both times. So you kind of figure it'll be Logan going to Nitro and Polka coming to Chapmanville, but that could be reversed one way or the other. But one thing we do know is Logan's going on the road. Chapmanville will be in their home gymnasium. Either way, it's going to be a tough opponent and an opponent that could upset either team if neither one are ready in that game. But I think you'll see Logan refocus. Again, they're going to go into a tough environment either way on Wednesday night. And I think you'll see them get refocused. They're desperate to get back to the state tournament. Haven't been since the 2011-2012 year. Chapmanville looking to get back for the 5th time in 6 years. I mean, it's just been an unbelievable run for this Chapmanville team, but man, how much does this county want to see both those teams get to the state tournament? And as you said, how bad does the Civic Center want to see both these teams get to the state tournament? I mean, we want to get there. We want to root for both teams, root for all this county atmosphere to be there in the Civic Center, and I think that we're going to get it this year, James. We came close last year. Logan just narrowly lost to Winfield near the end of that game when Winfield got hot late, but I think David Early and the rest of the Logan Wildcats and Zach Green, they're going to go on the road, get a big win, and Chapmanville will obviously be the prohibitive favorite on their home floor. Again, 2 teams in Nitro and Polka that could pull an upset, but I think you're going to see both these teams. They've been at the top of the state all year long at 1-3. They don't want it to end right here, and I think we're going to see them in the Charleston Civic Center in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely, Chris. And Chris and I, both from this area, both Logan High graduates, both now coach and teach at Chapmanville schools, and you mentioned, I made sure I mentioned your coach.
Yeah, I know. He tried to knock me out of my coach check there a couple weeks back.
That's right. But we're going to root for both teams in their regional finals, whoever it would be against, and it would be a really special feeling if both teams and their fan bases could root for one another to get to Charleston and maybe root for a matchup to happen in Charleston.
And I think a lot of people are. Again, tonight was a tremendous atmosphere. I mean, you saw both sides get very, very energetic on both ends of the floor, but you never saw anything bad on either side. This was good, clean fanaticism here tonight, which is what you want to see because Logan's had one of the best fan bases in the state for the longest time. Chapmanville is building one of the biggest fan bases in the state for the longest time, and this county just loves basketball all the way around. I mean, how can you ignore it? And we don't want to ignore it. We want to see it over in Charleston. So again, I applaud everyone this evening for a great game, great attitudes all the way around from the players to the fans to everyone involved. This was just a lot of fun this evening, and we've had fun all 3 times this year. These 2 met up, and like you said, James, it'd be wonderful if we could see it on semifinal Friday or on championship Saturday one more time. I mean, it's just been too good. Why not have a part 4 again? Why stop at the trilogy? We can go for 4.
Yeah, I believe a lot of people would love to see that. I know the Civic Center would make a lot of money, and I know Robbie and Butch would probably love to see that as well. That'll do it here for us from Mingo Central High School. Once again, your final score, Chapmanville 68, Logan 55. Chapmanville, the sectional champions here in Region 4, Section 2. For Chris Kidd, for Robbie Mounts, and for David Anderson back in the WVOW studios, I'm James Barker bidding you a good evening. We now send things on WVOW Radio to Basketball Friday night. We thank you for listening to Logan and Chapmanville basketball action right here on WVOW and Video Productions.